गया लिंक?
वो लिंक
सर्कुलेट किया उधर ग्रुप में? कैसे किया?
सर आपके ऑफिस में भेजना था ना, लिंक देना ना, सर को दिया था लिंक, सर को लिंक भेजना, उनके ऑफिस में भेजने होते हैं।
तो विल चेक, एक ही मिनट में आई गो एंड चेक वो दिया है उसने, लिंक फॉरवर्ड किया है।
किसमें?
दीपाली ने किया।
किसमें?
कहाँ किया है?
कर रही है विचार उसको, वो जो आपका
ओके, स्टार्ट होने से पहले हो जाएगा सर।
पंकज जी भी प्रभु सब सेल कामदार
पता नहीं मुझे, बात नहीं हुई। Good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you to the very first study group of IBC. So, of course, we have senior core group members and veterans of the area, Jayesh sir, Ravin sir, and under the chairmanship of Vimal sir, we have regional council member Sanjay Nikam sir. So, friends, this is basically the first session that we are going to have in amongst all study groups. So, we look forward for collective, upskilling, and there are a few few guidelines that WHRC has given us. The whole objective is that our learning and upskilling should go well. So what the idea is that whoever is attending physical, and of course core group members will decide, and as per guidelines 6 CPRs are allowed. So for 3 such sessions, which core group members will decide on physical mode, CPRs shall be granted, and the one who are attending virtually. So what we have done is one who are residing out of MMRDA, virtual link shall be given. So this are the modalities on what we are working as WIRC, and any suggestions in that. So looking forward, and we'll discuss internally and get back. So all the very best. And with this, may I request Chairman Sir Vimal Agarwal ji to take this forward. Thank you and all the best.
मेल कर दूं?
थैंक यू जिनल मैडम। ये जो अपना आईबीसी स्टडी ग्रुप बनाने का जो मेन मोटिव था कि जैसे बेसिक नॉलेज तो काफी लोगों को रहता है, लेकिन जैसे कोई मैटर किसी के पास आता है, किसी भी आईपी के पास, उसको इन डेप्थ की वो मतलब स्टार्ट से लेकर लास्ट में जैसे डिजोलेशन का ऑर्डर कैसे लेकर आने का है, और इसमें हर केस में अलग अलग इश्यूज रहते हैं, तो इश्यूज किस तरीके से सॉर्ट आउट करे। तो वो अपने जैसे कोई बड़े कॉन्फ्रेंस में जाते हैं ना, वहां पर अपने को उसका रिजोल्यूशन नहीं मिलता है। तो ये जो स्टडी ग्रुप अपना फॉर्म करने का पर्पज वही है कि प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशन उस मेंबर को मिले जिसके पास भी वो मैटर आवे, और किस तरीके से अपन नेटवर्किंग करके ये काम आगे ले अपने मेंबरों को दिलवा सकते हैं। क्योंकि जैसे इस फील्ड के अंदर में कंपनी सेक्रेटरी भी है, एडवोकेट भी है, लेकिन अपने पास ज्यादा मैटर आवे, वो अपने को डायरेक्शन में ये काम करना है। तो अपने साथ में फॉर्चुनेटली जैसे आज जयेश भाई है, प्रवीण जी है, हेमंत जी है, राठी जी है, ऐसे ऐसे लोग हैं। अगर ये लोग साथ में मिलके अपने को उनसे गाइडेंस मिले तो अपन काफी आगे तक जा सकते हैं। ठीक है। और WRC की तरफ से जैसे आज जो भी है वो जो सपोर्ट चाहिए वो अपने को पूरी मैं एश्योरेंस करता हूँ। अपने जिनल मैडम है, संजय जी है, चेयरमैन भी अपने घर के ही है, तो उनसे अपन करके जो सपोर्ट आपको चाहिए वो सपोर्ट पूरा मिलेगा, ये मेरा एश्योरेंस है। थैंक यू।
Thank you,
संजय
Jinal
जी।
bhai and Jinal bhai. Friends, I'm taking a pride here in declaring that this is the first study group and the first meeting. Let me tell you, even other groups are not even formed. We have already started the meeting. That is a big kudos to the chairman and secretary WRC and the chairman of WRC that they have taken the initiative. And it couldn't be possible without the support from experts like you, because we know IBC practice is a very niche practice. It calls for deep study and devotion of time. Even we can't hire anybody. I remember, Praveen sir, we are talking about IBC since decade, right? You were the first faculty when we started the workshop at Navi Mumbai. 9 days seminar was there and you were there. Since then I'm watching you. Even to hire a staff also, we need some kind of training to be given to that person. So that kind of expertise we need. And let me tell you, this is going to be a busiest study group, because only the person who knows about the IBC and who is keen about the IBC wouldn't dare to get into this group. Otherwise, सिर्फ holidays के लिए कोई यहाँ पे आने वाला टिकने वाला भी नहीं है. और since decades, these people are working on IBC. Is going to be a good knowledge bank for the WRC. And I hope, and I believe, I trust, I have the confidence that I have seen in last 3 years being RCM that IBC group is very active. I remember only IBC has conducted IRCs and in Goa, study tours. Welcome, sir. So this is the only study group where dedicated people are involved, and with the help of the seniors, I think the group will expand more and many more activities will come up with. And as Vimal sir said, there are many potential and opportunities in this field. So I hope that this team will create some more opportunities for chartered accountants. And whenever and wherever required, 21 council members, other 37 branches, and number of study circles are at your disposal. जो भी जरूरत पड़े, we are there. So all the best to all of you.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, and congratulations for your knowledge gathering, knowledge gaining. I'll give charge back to the Vimalji. Vimalji.
Now we begin first session from our learned speaker V.S. Rathi ji. Now I request.
Should we?
Now I request Surbhi Madam to introduce our first speaker V.S. Rathi ji.
It's my immense pleasure to introduce Rathi sir here. I take this opportunity and I'll give a quick introduction. Rathi sir has 3 decades of experience in debt syndication, debt resolution, including restructuring, PEV studies, valuation, and insolvency. Rathi sir had been meticulous. He had been a CA rank. He has been meritorious. Sorry, Rathi sir had been meritorious with 3 decades of experience. He had assisted more than 50 companies in working out a debt resolution package. He had also handled stockbroking, placement, and distribution of financial products. He was a co-founder, co-promoter, and whole-time director of Sumedha Fiscal Services Limited. He has been a regular speaker at various formats of ICI and banks on various subjects, including CBR, IBC, PEV study, etc. So we welcome sir.
One thing which I remember, we had joined MBF course, Master of Business Finance course by Institute of Chartered Accountants. In MBA course, he was as a student. In that course, he addressed us as a faculty also.
On the same
Excellent
subject.
faculty.
On the same subject.
On the same subject.
There
I think that was in 2011.
Yeah. We are together.
नवनाथ लिंक का क्या हुआ?
Link,
But I'm surprised कि इतने कम लोग attend. Means
थोड़ा
maybe
मार्केटिंग
क्या है कि
मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है।
नहीं but ऐसे भी पहले भी आए थे तो देखा
शुरू में बहुत
कि
आते थे। शुरू में जो 2018, 17, 18,
में
19 में अच्छे आते थे, पूरा भर जाता था।
कोविड के बाद क्या है ना कि ज्ञान सबसे सस्ता हो गया है।
online available हो गया.
मैंने 35-40 लोगों को पर्सनल फोन किए, एक भी नहीं आया।
And लोग ना information को knowledge समझने लगे. जो available है वो knowledge ही समझते हैं.
और
Sorry
क्या
यार.
होता है, जो स्टडी
लोगों को लगता है गूगल पे सब मिलता है, ऐसा भी लगता है।
स्टडी ग्रुप का क्या पर्पस, स्टडी से करो। स्टडी ग्रुप में इट इज वेरी इंटेंस, ऐसा डिबेट होना चाहिए, आर्गुमेंट होना चाहिए, काउंटर आर्गुमेंट होना चाहिए। एक्चुअली ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि जैसे रियल में कुछ भी सॉल्व हो रहा है, और इसमें से कितने स्पीकर लोग तैयार हुए हैं।
Well, भाई, welcome sir.
आपको याद कर रहे थे।
अरे अकेले चलते हुए अच्छे नहीं लगते हो, 4-5 लोग रहने चाहिए आपके साथ में।
तो वहाँ लिख रहे हो।
हाँ,
एक एक करके आ रहे।
Good to see you, sir.
Yes, sir.
अभी बात ये चल रही थी कि पार्टिसिपेशन बहुत कम है, तो बोला स्नेल भाई आएंगे, 25-30 लोग साथ में चलते हैं उनके।
बट मैं फिर भी एक बोलूंगा सर, 50 पीपल वहां पे बैठे, उसमें से खाली 10 लोग आईबीसी जानते हैं, इससे बेटर है हम 10 लोग यहाँ पे बैठे आप और नहीं जानते हैं, ये भी फर्क है।
हाँ, opportunity है, सब
Quantity,
इस फील्ड के तो सब टॉप लोग हैं।
ये तो मतलब these are the
Cream,
faculties
cream.
actually, we invite them as a faculty. So brainstorming बहुत होने वाला है यहाँ पे।
Sometimes deeper relationship is important. Networking, rather meeting 50 people and meeting 10 people
Regularly.
deeply,
Yes.
because that adds a lot of things. तो 10-15 लोग हम लोग सब लोग इतने क्लोज फ्रेंड हो गए हैं। राठी साहब को तो मैं फर्स्ट टाइम मिल रहा हूँ अनफॉर्चुनेटली, बट ऑल अदर पीपल वी आर
हो सकता है कि यहाँ से बिग तो बन जाए आईबीसी की, सब एक्सपर्ट एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाओ।
ऑलरेडी दे वी आर वर्किंग ऑन इट। आईबीसी का बिग फोर तो यहाँ पे है।
हमको भी जोड़ लेना
100%. And out of this 10 12 people, I think you, Praveen bhai and me are there in the central list also. Special invite अपना नाम आ गया। स्नेहल भाई
मेरे को नहीं आया, अब तक नहीं।
वो मेरा नाम उनका ही नाम है, सब्स्टिट्यूट होने वाला है, सब्स्टिट्यूट ही है वो। स्नेहल भाई बराबर ना, स्नेहल भाई मैं या स्नेहल भाई है, सेम ही है।
कोई भी हो, काम से मतलब है, काम करो, आप काम करो वहाँ बैठ के, हम आपसे काम करवा लेंगे।
और सीपी क्रेडिट दिलाना भाई, इसका ये WRC का। If there is a CPE credit ना, then attendance will increase.
CPE credit है ना?
इसका इंस्टीट्यूट का नहीं है, IB का नहीं है।
लेटर दे रहे हैं ना,
वही तो प्रॉब्लम है।
अच्छा, IBBI का नहीं है?
IBBI का नहीं है, वही तो प्रॉब्लम है। हमने लेटर का ड्राफ्ट दिया था मैंने, वो हो गया ना।
ज्ञानचंद जी मिश्रा से भी
ज्ञानचंद जी को भी मैंने ड्राफ्ट भेजा है। तो the major issue is क्रेडिट है। अगर सीपी क्रेडिट मिले ना तो पूरा हो जाएगा।
सीपी कमेटी मतलब
IBI क्रेडिट should be there, otherwise there is no purpose of।
बट सीए इंस्टीट्यूट का क्रेडिट भी तो वैल्यू रखता है कि नहीं?
नहीं
पर अभी क्या हम लोग प्रैक्टिस ही नहीं कर रहे, हम साइन ही नहीं कर रहे, हमको जरूरत ही नहीं है। मैंने भी COP निकाल दिया।
तो मेरा तो COP तो है, बट
एक का तो बहुत
नहीं, COP नहीं है, COP नहीं है।
राठी साहब मैंने COP भी सरेंडर कर दिया।
ये आईबीसी का लेक्चर देके हो जाता है, हर एक 1.5 महीने में एक लेक्चर आता है, एक लेक्चर आता है, तो वो लेक्चर देके ही
डबल मिलती होगी ना लेक्चर वालों को तो।
नहीं
ना मालूम नहीं
नहीं मिलती है डबल, वो खत्म हो गया अभी,
ठीक है।
डबल कुछ नहीं मिलता है।
कभी कभी क्या होता है कि पूरा प्रोग्राम का सीपी मिल जाता है आपको।
मेरा तो अभी मैंने
गलती से वो डाल देते हैं 2 घंटे की बड़ी
मेंबरशिप तो है ना,
मेंबरशिप है 3 साल, तो उसके लिए भी चाहिए क्या?
नहीं सीओपी नहीं,
COP लिया था 20 hours yearly month.
I have surrendered on 8।
आपने तो COP भी सरेंडर कर दी है।
अभी 18 नवंबर को कर दिया।
फर्म का नाम भी चेंज कर दिया क्या?
नहीं वो वही रहेगा, उसमें क्या फर्क है? उसमें कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन है? फर्म का नाम नहीं, पर मैं फर्म से 3 साल पहले निकल गया हूँ।
ठीक है।
जय संघराजका एंड कंपनी LLP, आई एम नॉट देयर।
हेमंत अग्रवाल इनके साथ ही है।
हाँ, हेमंत इज विद
अच्छी का अच्छी का
अभी वापस इंट्रोड्यूस होना है तो वापस COP ले लूंगा ना।
जरूरत ही नहीं है, इंसॉल्वेंसी कर रहे हो।
अच्छी का क्या?
हाँ, अच्छी का अग्रवाल
क्या अर्जी का है ना, हस्बैंड मारे।
हम लोग
हेमंत अग्रवाल इज माय 17-18 years partner।
अच्छा,
ही इज हैंडलिंग।
तो अपने साथ थी ना, अपना MBF में थी
अर्चिता अग्रवाल।
ठीक है, उसकी भाई।
हाँ, हेमंत की
वो
भाई।
अपने साथ में MBF में थी ना, साथ में।
मालूम है।
उसका उनके हस्बैंड मेरे साथ हैं।
हाँ,
ही
बहुत
इज
साल
18 years partner।
ये एक लिस्ट आ गई है।
सब अच्छे लोग हैं सर के साथ।
एक टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम है, वो लोग सॉर्ट आउट कर रहे हैं।
राठी जी, यू प्रैक्टिस ऑन अभी कितना प्रैक्टिस है?
हमारे इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग में सुमेधा फिस्कल सर्विस।
हाँ, सुमेधा, सॉरी यार, आई गॉट इट।
और अडू क्या जानता है?
दिस इज हमारा इनकॉर्प रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग IP है, ये तो मेरे कंपनी का है।
सर आपको meanwhile I will just utilize this forum to take your opinion. Section 9 में अभी is it compulsory to even go through the IU?
IU default record of default is necessary. Without that, section 9 will not be admitted. मतलब वो डिफेक्ट भी उड़ जाएगा आपका, डिफेक्ट भी अटका रहेगा. Record of default is necessary. ROD चाहिए.
Register to IU because we only given 10 days notice.
हाँ.
अभी वापस IU में करके.
वेलकम राकेश, वेलकम.
IU में वो record of default चाहिए, बिना record of default नहीं कर पाओगे.
चालू
तेरे वेट कर रहे थे.
राकेश जी का
आगे के सेशन में इसको एक स्पीकर बनाना है. हेमंत भाई, राकेश को एक टॉपिक लेना है, उसका फोन आया था, हम लोग सेशन में बात कर लेंगे.
हाँ, no issue. Rakesh ji already.
Coming session anytime.
Yes, yes.
वेलकम कमित जी.
क्या सब आ गए. जय श्री कृष्ण.
वेलकम सर.
हाफ एन आवर में
अच्छे गैदरिंग हो गई.
आप पहले बोल देते लोग नहीं है, देखो आपकी आवाज पहुंची लोगों तक है.
अभी
जल्दी हो गई.
और मैं तो ये मैंने तो आप सबसे पहले यही बोला, मोला यहाँ का एक आदमी 100 के बराबर है वैसे भी, तो देख लो जितने हैं तो 100.
ऑनेस्टली ये जो प्रोफेशन है ना, ये एक आदमी जो भी आरपी बनता है ना, वो आपने सही, यार ऑल
इक्वल टू 100.
दूसरा काम करते हैं ना, उससे हम लोग बहुत ही ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बहुत ही ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बराबर ना. वन असाइनमेंट इज लाइक
यस,
सब कुछ टेस्ट हो जाता है. जो कौन गार्ड, ऐसा गार्ड के जैसा खड़ा रहना, हाउस अरेस्ट के जैसा.
No, I was just to नालसार में यूनिवर्सिटी में अभी मैं गया. राहुल मदान was there and IBBI तो ऑनलाइन था, जितेश जॉन. Rahul Madan is clearly giving a negative side also. He said that अभी enrollment कम हो गया है और 2000 AFA है, 4,200 members है. Enrollment has decreased a lot. And why that is happening? Because one, either the work is decreasing or there is a lot of pressure on RPs. That is a main thing. मेरे हिसाब से तो work is there. If you see the number of cases which are there, स्नेहल भाई, there are number of cases, right? सब NCLT में केस तो भर के हैं और तो सेक्शन 7-9 पेटिशन तो पेंडिंग ही है, तो उसमें अपॉइंटमेंट तो होना ही है, तो वर्क तो आने ही वाला है. आज भी तो मतलब जो भी है, बट वाई पीपल
काम आने वाला है, बट क्वालिटी वाला काम नहीं है. अभी देखो सेक्शन 9 70% एप्लीकेशन गेट्स सॉर्टेड आउट बिफोर एडमिशन. जो बचा कुचा रहता है उसमें काफी सारी एप्लीकेशंस गेट्स अंडर 12 सेटल्ड अंडर 12. और वो सब एंट्री वाली कंपनियां आती है, उसमें आरपी अपॉइंट होता है, लिक्विडेटर भी बनता है, ना आरपी को फीस मिलती है ना कुछ करना है. I have at least 5 companies with me. जहाँ court has given a straight away direction to pay it. They are not making contempt application filed. Notice issued. No one is attending. कोर्ट बोलता है क्या होगा, नोटिस नहीं इशू किया, नहीं आ रहा, करने का क्या. That's just telling this.
सर मेरा केस मैं डिस्कस बाद में करूंगा.
तो टेक्निकली जो प्रॉब्लम जो है ना, वो ये प्रॉब्लम है कि पिरामिड देखोगे ना ऐसे आईपी का, तो अभी वो पूरा स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हो गया. यस राजन भाई,
क्या बात है.
आ जाओ सर.
मैं अच्छा हूँ, बहुत बढ़िया. आप लोग सब कैसे हैं? बढ़िया.
तो पिरामिड ऐसा हो गया है. वी आर 4000.
अभी तो शुरू भी नहीं हुआ है. आईटी का भी
राजन जी पहचाने?
हाँ, पहचाने.
So we are 4,000 IPs registered. 2,000 approximate have AFA. That is only 2,000 desire to do practice. Okay, out of that 2,000, if you drill down, 1,500 has work, or 1,300 something odd has work. You drill down that. हाँ?
करंटली ये होगा कि नहीं होगा मालूम?
वो नहीं मालूम, बट एक काम किया हुआ वाला जो है वो 1300 से 1500 के बीच में है नंबर.
बराबर.
करंट काम किसके पास है? वो करीबन 700-800 के पास ही है. उसमें एक से ज्यादा कितने के पास है? तो 500 के पास ही है. तो इकोनॉमी अपनी आईपी की जो है वो 4000 में 500 के बीच में सीमित हो गई। अभी वो क्रीपिंग इसलिए हो रहा है कि ये 500 के बीच में ही सब बिजनेस जा रहा है, और वो पीछे वाले जो बचे हैं 1500 जो, वो उनके पास धंधा नहीं आ रहा। ये बंदा, दिस इज नॉट फॉर मासेस, this is only for the people who understand what is resolution, and that's why this profession is a unique profession.
Yes, okay, yeah.
So you getting a license to practice and say कि मेरे को काम नहीं मिल रहा है, you have to demonstrate why should you be given the asset of third party to manage, and how will you be resolving? जब तक ये आंसर आप नहीं कर सकते हो, कोई भी नहीं देगा asset आपको।
And now even institutions have realized whom to give work and whom not to give work. And institutions have now realized that किसको काम
So
देना।
most of the institutions, banks, PSU banks have gone on the back foot now. They are not inclined. They are happy कि अभी सरफेस ही देखो उनका क्या था, वो बड़े वाले केसेस थे, वो गंगा में पाप धोने थे, धो लिए उन्होंने। अभी जो है रूटीन वाले, अगर ये सब भी आईबीसी में दे देंगे ना, तो एसएम के पास कुछ काम ही नहीं है उसके पास।
And other thing is that ये तो अभी what do you think, पार्टनरशिप आएगा या नहीं आएगा?
टाइम लगेगा, अभी तो टाइम।
And पार्टनरशिप आने से फर्क पड़ेगा?
सर अगर आपको पीजी के मैटर्स में मजा आता है तो आपको पार्टनरशिप में मजा आएगा, अगर आपको पीजी में मजा नहीं आता है तो पार्टनरशिप में नहीं आएगा।
पीजी का तो अभी कचरा ही होगा।
नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा मुझे कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं मालूम है ये डिस्कशन का, लेकिन फिर भी आपकी बात को मैं आगे बढ़ाता हूँ। लाइक आज सबसे पहले तो आईपी ये कोई प्रोफेशन नहीं है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये बिजनेस है। यू शुड रियलाइज दिस इज प्योर एंड सिंपल बिजनेस विच इज डन बाय अ प्रोफेशनल, and you expect the highest level of integrity and probity from it, right? That is one thing. Secondly, आप मुझे बोलते हो कि आपके ऑफिस में एक 12 आदमी बैठने का कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम होना चाहिए, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में आपका एक्सपेक्टेशन, which is rightly so. You cannot have meeting in the premises of the COC. Always आपका CD तो distress में रहता है, right? तो ideally it should happen only at the place of the resolution professional. क्या बहुत अच्छी बात है। आज रेजोल्यूशन प्रोफेशनल को आप देते क्या हो बताओ? आप रेजोल्यूशन प्रोफेशनल को आपने एक बाइंड कर दिया कि लाख रुपया 2 लाख रुपया 2 लाख रुपया, तो होता क्या है मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता है। सो आपने फीस का कैपिंग कर दिया, फिर आप बोलते हो कि आपको ऊपर से फीस देना है तो आपको जस्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा। आज वो जस्टिफिकेशन में कोई सीओसी
फीस पे मत जाओ, दुखती नसें सबकी। हम जो बात कर रहे थे कि आप धंधा है कि नहीं है आईपी का, व्हाट इज द फ्यूचर ऑफ आईपी?
आप देखो क्या हो रहा है कि मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि थोड़ा लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड नहीं है। और एक अच्छा, आई गॉट दैट, आई होल्ड माय सेल्फ बैक देयर। वन मोर थिंग आई वांट, सो दिस आई वाज टेलिंग टू द ऑनरेबल एनसीएलटी बेंच मेंबर्स व्हेन वी मेट एट द एनसीएलटी बार प्रपोज्ड बार काउंसिल गेट। मैं हमेशा ये बोलता हूँ, जहाँ पे मुझे मौका मिले तो आपका IBC का edifice, it is standing on 4 pillars, right? The first pillar is your adjudicating authority, the second pillar is the COC, the third pillar is IBP, and the fourth pillar is the RP, right? Now, what these first 3 pillars are not answerable to anybody. They are not answerable, they are not accountable, right? And the fourth pillar is answerable to everybody, he is accountable to everybody. अच्छा, मजे की बात ये है कि आप लोग मतलब NCLT members, right? आप लोग एक 10 साल का 15 साल का एक्सपीरियंस आरपी को कोर्ट में ऐसे झाड़ देते हो जैसे वो 2 साल का बच्चा है। I told them, मैं बोला आपको ये प्रोफेशन हाउ इट कैन सस्टेन ऑल दिस, आप ये कैसे सस्टेन हो सकता है?
Presentation
How many of people actually realize that RP is only representing the COC? The management is always COC. RP is just the face of the COC. You should directly talk to the
There is lot of challenges. देखो ये टॉपिक है ना, वो ऐसे नहीं होगा। आरपी का रोल जब तक आरपी क्लियरिटी से नहीं समझता तब तक ये मैस है। आरपी इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं रहता तब तक ये मैस है। That is what is the game all about. सब करें। It's a RP's choice to enter into this regulated market. No one has forced RP to come in this market.
इधर इधर का ही करते हैं ना चलो एक बार हाँ?
Also accept the fact that अगर आप regulate करते हो तो regulatory अगर आप अगर sanity नहीं रखते हो ना regulation में तो then you should also accept that
Problem is there is no one to hear IP's voice. In short, ये
चालू करवाते हैं थोड़ा सा डिले
2 मिनट वो लिंक के लिए गया है
वो तो अब लिंक भेजा है
ना लिंक तो मिल गया
हाँ तो फिर क्या करना है
आप ग्रुप में डालना पड़ेगा सर मैं डाल दूं
नहीं तो
आप डाल
ग्रुप में वो लिंक ओपन
डाल
हो
दो।
जाएगा ना जूम वाला ठीक ठीक
अच्छा ऑनलाइन भी दे रहे हैं क्या
नहीं नहीं out of Bombay.
ठीक
Only
हाँ
out of Bombay.
हाँ?
Only people out of Bombay.
ठीक है पब्लिक
मैंने मोकलाई हुई है तबने मोकला हो गया
इसको लिंक भेजेंगे
आपको भेजता हूँ मैं
ठीक 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 ठीक
वो आउट ऑफ
आपको
बॉम्बे
जो
भेजना है
लिंक भेजा है आपको ही भेजा है
मैंने
तो वो
आउट ऑफ बॉम्बे
आपको स्टाफ को भेज दो तो
भेज दिया
मैं दूंगा तो सब ग्रुप में
स्टार्ट कर दूं
हाँ स्टार्ट नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट टू स्टार्ट द सेशन
Thank you. So debt restructuring, all of you must be aware, you are from insolvency profession. So before insolvency came, debt restructuring common practice for resolution of NPS and overdue accounts. Let me begin by describing what is restructuring. So restructuring has been defined by RBI. Earlier, there was no definition. Now RBI has defined. Restructuring means you are giving any form of concession. So you can give concession in alteration of repayment period. You can give concession in repayment amount, number of installment, change in rate of interest, roll-off credit facilities. But suppose you give interest concession because the competitive banks are offering better rates, then this is not called restructuring. So that points to be okay. So if you are doing it, आप दया की भीख मांग रहे हो तब आपको the restructuring interest rate कम करी जा रही है तो ही restructuring कही जाती है. If you are changing the terms because of competitive reasons, then this is not called restructuring. So पहले CDR आया था. I think all of you must be aware. Can you give any two good examples कि जो company CDR के कारण survive की, thrive की, and today they are blue chip? Two examples.
जैन इरिगेशन
Both of them are not good examples. सेठिया साहब
काफी कंपनीज है अभी ऑफेंड
जो आज ब्लू चिप है जिसमें एक तो NSE निफ्टी में है.
A lot of companies are there which have survived out of CDR. Of course, later थोड़ा CDR को भी abuse किया गया. That is why it caused a problem. But there are a large number of companies which have survived.
मैं बताता हूँ.
Even SR was also one of the case of.
But SR को ultimately
Bharat Gears in the initial period it went into CDR.
So I give you two names. JSW Steel. JSW Steel is a Nifty 50 company today. Not only good blue chip company, but Nifty 50 company. The other name which comes to my mind is IndoCount. Today, IndoCount is a blue chip company.
Yes.
Banks are paying up कि ले लो पैसा ले लो मेरे से. So CDR has helped. My experience with CDR was that later years, both bankers and borrowers were reluctant, and that's why they came to CDR platform when the damage was done. You need to operate patient when there are chances of survival. But in many cases, the damage was done so much that the death was inevitable. So that we have seen. After CDR, government came out with various schemes, 525, SDR, S4A, and Then in 2019, on Mahashivratri day, government came out with a circular and said everything is done, closed. Only one circular will remain. Each of the scheme has got their own good features and impractical reasons. Because of that, some of them failed and some of them survived. Withdrawal of forbearance benefit. This is very, very important. Can anyone explain what is forbearance benefit?
Forbearance is later on when the company makes profit. Okay.
और कोई?
You repeat the term again. Forbearance.
Concession withdrawal.
Forbearance was a benefit given to restructured accounts, that if you do restructuring under certain parameters, if you meet certain parameters, X, Y, Z, DSCR इतना होना चाहिए, ये इतना होना चाहिए, तो restructuring के बाद भी account आपका standard है. You got my point? So one of the very important factor was कि आपको वो बेनिफिट सिर्फ एक बार मिले. आप यदि सेकंड टाइम रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग किए तो एनपीए हो जाएगा, बट फर्स्ट टाइम के लिए आपको अभेदान है, एक लाइफ आपको मिलती है. रघुराम राजन साहब आए, वो बोले ये तो बहुत गलत हो रहा. इन्होंने कहा आप यदि बीमार हो, आपको रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग क्यों चाहिए? बिकॉज़ आप बीमार हो, आप डॉक्टर के पास क्यों दिखाने जा रहे हो? कुछ ना कुछ तकलीफ है इसलिए जा रहे हो ना, नहीं तो क्यों रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग चाहिए? आप जो लोन रिपेमेंट शेड्यूल है उसके हिसाब से रुपया दो, बात खत्म. बिकॉज यू आर सिक, you are going to doctor, so admit that you are sick. So Raghuram Rajan said that if you are having a seeking restructuring, get it, but don't ask for forbearance benefit. Your account will get immediately downgraded. इसका क्या हुआ फायदा? बैंकों ने कहा मेरे को जो मेरा अकाउंट ही एनपीए करना है तो मैं क्यों रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग करूं? मैं क्यों रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग करूं? उससे बेटर है मैं एआरसी को बेच दूं, उससे बेटर है मैं सेटलमेंट कर लूं, उससे बेटर है मैं रिकवरी प्रोसेस चालू करूं, इंक्लूडिंग इंसॉल्वेंसी. So this was a very, very important critical step taken by Reserve Bank of India, जिसके वजह से डाला गया था. In the meantime, government showing exemplary speed made IBC operational in 2016. Lenders were initially wary of using IBC. They were not so keen. Then RBI came out with an ordinance कि तुमको 12 कंपनियों को तो करना ही करना है, dirty dozen. Remember everyone?
Yes.
SR, आलोक, ज्योति स्ट्रक्चर, तो 12 कंपनी थी. फिर एक भाई साहब चले गए, फिर उन्होंने एक लिस्ट लाई 28 अकाउंट की ओर. एक भाई साहब सुप्रीम कोर्ट चले गए. That you can't force to take me to insolvency. टेंडर को लेके जाना जरूर जाए, but RBI cannot force. Supreme Court said yes, you are absolutely right, you cannot. So Supreme Court quashed that circular. आप लोग की मेमोरी थोड़ी सी रिफ्रेश करवा रहा हूं, तो थोड़ा क्या है कि बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक ठीक से सेट हो जाए तो आगे नींद कम आएगी. Then RBI came out with Mahashivratri circular, which was later on amended on 7th of June. That circular is a very important circular, and that circular is still on. That circular says that first, they defined that if you do restructuring, then your account can get upgraded provided XYZ. They've defined certain criteria. Second, most importantly, they said, if your account is in default, you can't sleep over it. You have to take some action. You do restructuring, you sell loan to ARC, you do settlement, or you drag it to insolvency. If you don't do anything, then there will be additional provisioning. RBI के पास एक डंडा है जो हमेशा वो दिखाती रहती है, प्रोविजनिंग। या तो मैं जैसा बोलता वैसा करो, नहीं तो चुपचाप प्रोविजनिंग कर दो। वो एक डंडा बहुत जोरदार है उनके पास। So 7 June 2019 circular is a very good circular because it gave complete flexibility to lenders. इसके पहले जो भी circulars आए थे, S4A, SDR, many of you may have practiced that. I wish Devang Bhai was here. He must have handled many such cases. Have we so given this link to insolvency group? Can we give this?
Yes, sir. Right.
I don't.
Use mode.
क्या ग्रुप का नाम क्या है?
मैं भेजता हूँ, आप चलो।
आप भेज रहे हो? इसके पहले जो भी स्कीम्स आई थी, S4A, SDR, सब में उन्होंने दुनिया भर के रेस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा रखे थे। इससे ज्यादा डेट आप अनसस्टेनेबल नहीं मान सकते, इससे ज्यादा आप इतना प्रोमोटर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन चाहिए, ये डेट टू इक्विटी रेशियो, ये टिंगना पूछना, बहुत उन्होंने रेस्ट्रिक्टिव सर्कुलर्स थे। 7 जून सर्कुलर से यू डू व्हाटएवर, आपको 90% अनसस्टेनेबल करना, आप 90% अनसस्टेनेबल करो। The only thing is that you need to get RF4 rating. And if the debt is more than 500 crore, you have to get it from 2 rating agencies. So these schemes were cancelled by that circular. So what are the financial difficulties? That also RBI has defined that if your borrower is having these financial difficulties, awake. As I said before, lenders will have to compulsorily, if there is a default, they have to work on some resolution plan. That resolution plan can be that you ask borrower that you pay all your overdues. You can sell your exposure to ARC. You do change in or ownership, or you do restructuring, but you can't sit on it. That is the circular's mool mantra.
But that
Also, the
threshold limit, na, above 100.
Above 5 crore.
Above 5 crore.
Yes. Above 5.
Once above 5 crore NPA, they have to do something.
Yes. And if there are more than one lender, then you have to sign ICA. And ICA's one of the condition is that if 75% by value and 60% by numbers are agreeing to a resolution plan, it will be binding on others. Only exception is that if you are dissenting, then that will be given liquidation value. The circular says that, okay, I have signed ICA, but I may not still agree with the resolution plan which the lead bank has suggested. In that case, circular has provided that ICA will have a condition that in such dissenting creditors will get at least liquidation value. They have not said that it will be in priority. In insolvency, also the same rule is there. But in insolvency, they have said that it will be in priority. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in RBI circular, they are not saying so. So, यदि मेरे को लिक्विडेशन वैल्यू मिलनी है और उसका प्रायोरिटी डिफाइन नहीं किया तो मेरे को डिसेंट करके फायदा क्या? So nobody dissents. Normally, experience is that if a resolution plan is put voting, then nobody dissents. They have defined that when your resolution plan will be considered as implemented. It will be considered as implemented if you get minimum one RP4 rating if exposure is between 100 to 500 crore. If above 500 crore, you will need at least 2 RP4 rating. We had one very interesting scenario. We were doing one restructuring under the circular. One rating agency gave RP4 rating. The other one didn't give. That gave RP5. So, you know, Sam Dam Dandved. We used everything, engaged consultants. And that consultant suggested that once our rating agency has given RP5 rating, there is no way it can change to RP4. ऐसा क्या हो गया कि अचानक जो चीज पहले हमने कहा था कि तू फेल है आज पास हो गया, तो बोला आप रेजोल्यूशन प्लान को मॉडिफाई करके उसको इम्प्रूव करो. सो हमने ट्विक किया रेजोल्यूशन प्लान ट्विक करके दोनों रेटिंग एजेंसीज को दे दिया, थोड़ा बेटर कर दिया. इस रेटिंग एजेंसी ने RP4 दिया, उसने RP5 दे दिया. उनको माथा मारे भाई, पहले से बेटर हुआ, हाउ कैन यू गिव RP5 नाउ? और हुआ क्या, वो रेटिंग एजेंसी थी छोटी, इतनी रिनाउंड नहीं थी. उसको लगा डर कि दूसरे वाले ने RP5 दिया, मैं RP4 दे दिया, कल को फंस जाऊंगा. तो बोला चलो अभी करेक्ट एक्शन ठीक करते हैं अपना, अभी RP5 दे दो. Anyway, that account got resolved later on. All the lenders' account got standard, and the company is doing very well. That is one of our proud success story.
But apart from it, sir, राठी जी, इसमें जो दो रेटिंग एजेंसी का बात होता था ना, और एक चैलेंज ये आती थी, वन रेटिंग एजेंसी आपने अपॉइंट कर दी तो ओके, एक ने दे दिया, दूसरा देने को तैयार नहीं है, तो आप विड्रॉ भी नहीं कर पा रहे.
विड्रॉ भी नहीं कर सकते.
आप विड्रॉ करके बोले थर्ड एजेंसी को देता हूं, तो वो नहीं दे, वो भी नहीं कर पा रहे थे. दैट वाज अनदर चैलेंज. तो मतलब तुम प्री फिक्स मैच कर लो, फिर करो तो बात अलग है. एक बार मैंडेट दे दिया, देन इट इज अप टू दैट.
एंड आल्सो रेटिंग एजेंसी का जो पेमेंट है वो लेंडर्स को ही करना है, बोरोवर नहीं कर सकता. नहीं तो बोरोवर तो फिक्स कर ले. हाँ,
सिलेक्शन तो बोरोवर कर सकते.
नहीं नहीं नहीं,
कुछ नहीं,
अनऑफिशियली कुछ भी करे, बट ऑफिशियली.
और अपार्ट फ्रॉम और एक चैलेंज क्या आता था, जो मैंडेट लेने आता था वो मार्केटिंग वाला रहता था, सब कमिट करके आता था, एंड में उसकी कमेटी रिजेक्ट करती है करके आता है, तब वो आदमी गायब हो जाता है. ये चीज में बहुत क्रेडिट रेटिंग में अप एंड डाउन हो. उसमें तो अभी एक रेटिंग एजेंसी का तो लाइसेंस भी गया, ऐसे ही बांट रहा था तो गया वो लाइसेंस.
इंटरक्रेडिटर एग्रीमेंट के बारे में मैंने पहले भी बात की थी. The benefits of ICA are that it's a coordinated lender section, कि हर आदमी अपनी अपनी डपली ना बजाए. Prevents unilateral legal proceedings. Once you have signed ICA, no lender can initiate legal proceedings unilaterally. It is binding on dissenting lenders also. I've already explained. But dissenting lenders के लिए there is a disincentive that they have to make higher provisions. And most importantly, it preserves viability of resolution plan. So ICA is a very important step in the restructuring process.
सर इसमें भी सर एक था कि बेसिकली इफ इट कंसोर्शियम फाइनेंस, अभी क्या होता था बैंकर्स कंसोर्शियम डेटा कंसोर्शियम फाइनेंस भी था और मल्टीपल में भी ले रहा था, तो वहाँ अटकता था ये आईसीए साइन करने में। कंसोर्शियम तो कोऑर्डिनेटर एफर्ट्स में जाता था और जो मल्टीपल में गया हुआ है वहाँ सेपरेट सिक्योरिटी है, सब सेपरेट है, वो आईसीए में नहीं आ रहे थे और वहाँ वो आईसीए वाज अनदर डिटरेंट बेसिकली दैट टाइम।
I know. Additional provision for delayed implementation of resolution plan. So RBI said, if you don't take action, if you don't take action within time frame, then you have to make additional provisioning. That is 20% if you delay beyond 180 days and 35% if you delay beyond 365 days. Lenders will be subject to stringent supervisory action if they don't meet the prescribed timelines. And if they take action to conceal the actual status or they try to evergreen the stressed accounts. So I wish all those actions had come before 2013-14, the country would have saved a lot of NPA accounts. Let me talk about prudential norms. The prudential norms are applicable to all the accounts, all the resolution plan. Assets classification is to be gone by aging criteria and not by security. आपके पास 400% सिक्योरिटी होगी तो भी प्रोविजनिंग आपकी एजिंग के हिसाब से होगी. Upgradation of account is if you demonstrate satisfactory performance during the specified period, and that period is when you pay 10% of amount which is resolved. So if you pay 10% of amount, then only your account will get upgraded. And there are another condition that at least for 1 year it cannot be upgraded. नहीं तो आदमी बोलेगा चलो 10% में पहले दिन ही दे देता हूँ, चलो account करो upgrade. So to stop that, they have made 1 year plus 10% both the conditions. Satisfactory performance means no default at any point of time during a specified period. No default at all. आपने default किया, आपका upgradation गया.
रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग के बाद की बात है ना?
Restructuring के बाद की बात. Yes. So there are 4 categories: standard, substandard, doubtful, and loss assets. Standard is, we all know what is standard. Substandard is NPA for less than 12 months, doubtful more than 12 months. Loss assets are more than, I think, 4 years. These are the provisioning norms. Even on standard assets, RBI said that you make some provisioning. So that depends on the account type. For some accounts it is less, for some account it is higher. So for 0.25% for SMEs and direct advance to agriculture, 0.4% for residential housing loan, 1% for commercial real estate exposure. Substandard accounts, 15% provisioning you have to do. and for unsecured portion 25%. Doubtful up to 1 year 25% provision, 1 to 3 years 40%, more than 3 years 100%. Loss assets 100% provisioning is required. DCCO is a very important concept for project loan. Deemed commencement of commercial operations. So RBI has made a very detailed guideline. I think will be beyond our today's study circle to go through the entire guideline. But in nutshell, what DCCO says that when you submit an application and when your loan is sanctioned, that time only you make a forecast that this much time your project will be on. And if there are delays, then RBI said that if the delays are for reasons beyond your control, for some court intervention, then okay, we will not make you downgrade. But if it is more than that, a specified period, then account will become NPA. So account becomes NPA for 3 reasons. One is DCCO, second is not you're making payment, and third is other reasons like you don't submit a stock statement or your accounts is not renewed in time.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, here this point what we said, no, this is one thing, if you allow me, that with respect to IBC, this is one big area where the gap is there. When we talk about buffet transactions in the thing, and many a time what has happened in DCCO guidelines, there is nothing covered on these guidelines where they say partially done, and banks have used to do that partially comments, so account is proper, and they used to do, and then part funding, and then the account goes for a toss.
Yes.
Further funding was not happening, and that is the main reason that has created in industry the challenges because of viability gap that came because banks stopped funding after giving a part of it. DCCO हो गया तो अभी टर्म लोन वाला आगे दे नहीं देते, तो वर्किंग कैपिटल का पैसा वहां जा रहा था. And when you are doing a forensic under IBC and you get these companies, because तुम RPO हो तो COC के सामने कोई बोलता नहीं है कि तेरा गलती है, ये तेरे वजह से वो फंसा है, and we are talking short fund ये. So this angle is somewhere missed in IBC, which is very critical.
Very critical. This is very critical.
Yeah,
So
explain
if
your-
you are
Purposing for
so essentially when you set up a new project, that time you have to make an estimate that by this time your project will be
commencing.
commercial production. If you delay that, so if you delay it by more than 2 years for infrastructure projects and for normal project by more than 1 year, then accounts become NPA. Though you are making payment in time, still your account becomes NPA because you have delayed it. RBI is what sir was saying, that in many cases कि आपने जैसे होटल बनाया, होटल में डिले हो गया तो आपने एक छोटा सा 20 रूम का 20 चेयर का एक रेस्टोरेंट चालू कर दिया और बोल दिया कि मेरा कमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन चालू हो गया. So I made the DCCO guideline. So RBI ने उसको भी पकड़ लिया. So now RBI says that if you want partial DCCO, then you have to see that at least 50% of your capacity is on. अब टोपी मत पहनाओ, टोपी पहनाओ बट उतनी पहनाओ जो मेरे सर पे चढ़े. अब मेरे को ढक दोगे, इतनी बड़ी टोपी मत पहनाओ. So what sir was saying that normally what happened, what used to happen, delay is inevitable. आप घर में इंटीरियर का काम करवाओ, एक बंदा मेरे को कोई मिल जाए जो बोल दे कि जिस दिन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने बोला उस दिन काम खत्म हो गया है, उसके पहले हो गया, तो मैं जो बोलूं वो हार गया. पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. टाइम ओवररन, कॉस्ट ओवररन होने ही होने हैं. सो इसमें फॉरेन में क्या होता है, जो मैंने पढ़ा, मैं तो कभी फॉरेन गया नहीं ऐसा, कि एक स्टैंड बाय क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी भी दी जाती है कि कल को ओवररन हो गया तो उसके लिए पहले से ही एक फैसिलिटी दे के रखिए। अपने यहाँ वो कंसेप्ट इतना पॉपुलर नहीं है, क्यों सेठिया साहब?
कंटिजेंसी
एक अलग बात है, या
करते हैं थोड़ा बहुत। एक्चुअली क्या है, बेसिकली ऑल दिस प्रोजेक्ट फंडिंग नीड्स ए वेरी लॉन्ग टर्म फंडिंग। अभी बैंक्स के, इंडिया में बैंक्स के पास पैसा है नहीं, दीज आर ऑल दी शॉर्ट टर्म लोन। तो क्या है, उसको पहले ही इतना खींच के अंदर रखते हैं कि वो बिल्कुल उसका टाइट होता है।
ALM मिसमैच बोलते हैं।
बेसिकली क्या है, अगर प्रोजेक्ट के लिए 20 साल का पैसा चाहिए, कोई भी बैंक 8 साल से ज्यादा का दे नहीं सकता। दैट इज व्हाई गवर्नमेंट फॉर द लास्ट अबाउट 2 decades दे हैव बीन।
सर वो एक थोड़ा सा मैं डिफर करूंगा आपसे, वो एक अलग सब्जेक्ट हो गया, लेकिन मेरा कहना क्या है कि
कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट कि भाई बेसिकली क्या है कि प्रॉब्लम तो वहीं से शुरू होती है। फिर क्या है, थोड़ा कंटीजेंसी में भी हम लोग जो है वो 10% से ज्यादा कंटीजेंसी रखते नहीं है। नॉर्मली क्या है, कॉस्ट ओवररन तो उससे ज्यादा ही होता है। दूसरा क्या है कि वैसे तो प्रमोटर ने अपनी कंटीजेंसी मोस्ट केसेस में रखा होता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि उसने नहीं रखा होता है, बट इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन हिज ऑनेस्टी टुवर्ड्स द प्रोजेक्ट, बिकॉज हार्डली वी हैव सीन ए प्रमोटर इन द कंट्री whereby he will sincerely bringing 25 or 30% margin which he has promised.
वो तो एक लेंडर मेरे को मिला था कि जब तक 100% फंडेड बाय बैंक लोन है तब तक ठीक है, जब वो 120% हो जाता है कि भाई 20% अपना घर ले जाता तो तकलीफ।
वो तो बहुत, तब उसी वहां भी मजाक में ऐसे बोलते हैं यार जितना लोन है उतना तो है ना उसमें, बट ठीक है जाने दो। यू आर राइट, बट ठीक है, वो दैट यू हैव टू लिव विद दिस सिस्टम।
So RBI has made a very detailed guideline that in case there are delays, then up to 1 year, no problem, you can delay it. If it is more than 1 year, then account will become NPA.
Everything apply.
Yes.
Just a question, if it becomes NPA, आपका डेडलाइन खत्म हो गया, सब हो गया, तो NPA मतलब फर्दर डिसबर्समेंट तो स्टॉप हो गया।
So RBI says that if you are giving working capital facility to an NPA account, that working capital facility will remain standard. But no lender is going to give additional funding to an NPA account.
Here, Jayesh bhai, to add what you said.
And जो पटेल भाई साहब ने जो कहा कि एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कि लेंडर हमेशा अपने बैलेंस शीट के बारे में सोचता है। He takes such a short-term view that he uses working capital, he sanctions working capital, uses that to recover his term loan installment and interest, and working capital zero हो जाती है, and वो account जो एक बार आपने बचा लिया वो आगे जाके मरना है। It's like you have taken crosses by which you have deferred your injury, sickness by a few hours, but ultimately the damage is done.
That is sure.
No, my question, suppose 100
वो चला जाएगा ना, सीट से नया आएगा ना सर।
आपका जो जयेश भाई, आपका जो पॉइंट था,
मैं जब तक हूँ तब तक
मेरे पे नहीं, बस मेरे पे मेरा ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड बेटर है।
You see many times when the chairman or main person changes the bank, immediately when the new chairman comes, he makes all the provisioning which are required. So when any chairman changes in the bank, that year the NPA provision will
be high, and later on it will come down.
It will come down.
Lighter note. In the banking circle, we used to say, "यार इस account को deep restructuring करो." Deep restructuring करते हैं। Deep restructuring का meaning क्या है? Repayment to start after the date of my retirement.
अच्छा।
That is good.
So उसमें deep restructuring बोलते हैं ना, आजकल deep reasoning भी है Chat GPT में, premium version में. So you all the answers. So my question was 100 crore is a loan sanction, term loan. आप and there is a delay. 80 crore disburse हो गया है, 80 crore disburse हो गया, एक साल भी हो गया, तो further ये 20 crore disburse करेगा नहीं बैंक, वो आप प्रोजेक्ट तो अपने आप ही मर गया।
जयेश भाई, उसमें क्या होता था कि ये 20 के लिए वो पार्शियल वो कमेंस कर दिया ऑपरेशन। वो क्या बोलते थे कि हमने ट्रायल रन कर लिया कॉमर्शियल ऑपरेशंस,
या
ये नहीं किया करके वो चालू करवा देता था और वो 20 का डिस्बर्समेंट करने का ऑप्शन रखा। लेकिन एक्चुअली बिकॉज वो 20 वो वर्किंग कैपिटल ये सब सैंक्शन होने में टाइम लगता था, तो वर्किंग कैपिटल का यूज हो गया। तो इधर वो शॉर्ट टर्म लॉन्ग टर्म में चला गया अटका। फिर क्या बोलेगा, फिर देन यू अप्रोच अ बैंकर कंसोर्शियम, they used to tell restructuring। वो पहले ही साल में रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग होता था। जिसमें ये प्रॉब्लम आया, इफ द प्रमोटर इज स्ट्रांग इनफ और ही अंडरस्टूड दिस, देन वो पहले साल में ही रिस्ट्रक्चर करवा दिया है। और जहां वो पहले साल में नहीं हुआ है, वो सब अपने पास आईबीसी में आया है।
दैट इज वेयर द प्रॉब्लम इज नाउ। बट अभी भी ऐसा ही हो रहा है।
अभी भी ऐसा ही है।
अभी एक्चुअली क्या है, जब तक तो फोरबेरेंस था तब तक तो बैंक को इंसेंटिव था, भाई बैंक खुद आगे से बोलता था कि भाई रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग
करवा लो
अब, ताकि मेरा एनपीए बच जाए। When the forbearance was withdrawn, then the restructuring is there, but I have not seen many cases going in, though they are deserving, but still not many cases go for restructuring because क्या वो एनपीए हो जाता है।
उसमें क्या है ना, एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एक नया डायमेंशन अभी ध्यान में आया मेरे को। जो RP4 रेटिंग का जो प्रोविजन, RP4 rating means that the rating agency will see whether this resolution plan will withstand any potential future setbacks or unexpected क्या बोलते हैं कि decline in performance. So for that they want to be very conservative. So DSCR should be much better, good and all those things. That means they are seeking higher relief. Banks want to give lowest possible relief. Our rating agencies want maximum possible relief so that the chances of resolution plan surviving are higher. So ये जो एक क्या बोलते हैं टग ऑफ वार चलता है।
No, actually biggest problem is that जब अकाउंट एनपीए होता है तो उसमें सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम होती है, बिकॉज इफ यू हैव कंसीव्ड ए प्रोजेक्ट विद से 1000 करोड़, डिले हो गया, रेवेन्यू तो देखो बढ़ने वाला नहीं है, रेवेन्यू तो वही रहने वाला है। आप बोलते हो कि अभी 200 करोड़ मेरे को एडिशनल फंडिंग दे दो, unless and until the banks are ready to take a haircut on an account on restructuring, these things are not going. See, problem of debt cannot be solved with additional debt.
Absolutely.
ठीक है ना, तो वो बैंक लेने को तैयार नहीं है because of CVC and DD and all those problems.
So
ठीक है, तो
I have seen
इसलिए ज्यादा रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग नहीं हो पाता है।
So I have seen some banks being little more pragmatic. They have realized कि भैया ARC को बेचेंगे तो 100 रुपया का 20 रुपया आएगा, IBC में जाएंगे तो 20 भी नहीं आएगा, और बाकी रिकवरी मेजर्स DRT मेजर्स तो 20 साल की 20 ईयर प्लानिंग है। तो इसके लिए some banks have said कि रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग कर देते हैं, RP4 रेटिंग आया तो बहुत बढ़िया, नहीं भी आया तो भी हम करने तैयार हैं। I have seen in one particular example where bank was keen to do restructuring though the rating was not coming up before, because at least if you are if the unit survives, whatever interest, even if it on cash basis, in an NPA account you can't book income on accrual basis, you have to book only on cash basis. At least उतना तो आया। मान लीजिए आपने 50 करोड़ रुपया लोन दिया है, रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग स्कीम में 30 करोड़ रुपया सस्टेनेबल है, 20 करोड़ अनसस्टेनेबल है। 30 करोड़ पे 10% ब्याज, 3 करोड़ रुपया तो हर साल आएगा, नहीं तो कुछ भी नहीं आएगा। अब ARC को बेचोगे वो 6 करोड़ रुपया देगा। So in some cases, some banks, in fact one particular bank has written to State Bank of India that can I do a restructuring even though my account, even if I'm not getting RP4 rating, अब मत अपग्रेड करो, उससे ज्यादा तो मार नहीं है। अब फुल प्रोविजनिंग मेरा किया हुआ है, अब और क्या मारोगे मेरे को? आई हैव डन फुल प्रोविजनिंग, यू डोंट अपग्रेड माय अकाउंट, स्टिल आई वांट टू डू रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग। आरबीआई सेड सर्कुलर पढ़ लो। अब बोलो, सर्कुलर में कुछ लिखा हुआ नहीं है। तो फिर पर्सनल लेवल पर पूछा तो बोला रेटिंग तो करानी पड़ेगी, चाहे RP 5 आए चाहे 6 आए, चाहे जो भी हो रेटिंग करानी पड़ेगी, बट आप रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग कर सकते हो। एक मेरा अभी का मार्च का एक किस्सा है, एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन आपको बताता हूँ। One of our account got restructured under change of ownership and management. If you are doing restructuring with change in management, then accounts can get upgraded subject to certain XYZ condition. RBI later on came with one inspection, and RBI said the incoming promoter has not given personal guarantee. So either you take his personal guarantee or I will make account NPA. Incoming promoter said nothing doing. I have invested money. I have acquired a sick company. I have lent my name. I'm not going to give personal guarantee. So they downgraded the account. Account was performing exceedingly well. The performance was much better than the projections, much better than the projections. Then the old promoter, they went to RBI, bank, and said that you please do one to forget the restructuring. You give me a fresh restructuring. I am ready to pay full interest. I don't want any concession. Fortunately, God has been kind enough. My performance is improved. Now I can give full interest, and whatever past interest concession you have given, that also I will give. So they said, okay, we'll do it. Account will get upgraded after 1 year. That's okay. With NPA, the bank agreed to do restructuring. Now comes the interesting situation. The past interest concession which bank had given, that's called right of recompense. Borrower says, I want to pay that also. I don't want any right of recompense. Whatever you have given concession, I will pay. So for 6 months, bank was unable to decide whether to take that now, take it in installment, how to treat it. And for last day on 31st March, they said, no, we will create a separate facility for that. Earlier they said, whenever you are paying, we will book that as income. Later on they said, no, we will create a separate facility. So they did restructuring for right of recompense. So restructuring definitely helps, but only to deserving cases. Those who are chronically ill, those whose expiry date has gone by, whatever restructuring you do, you can't survive. So let me come to this income recognition. Income has to be recognized on accrual basis, but for NPA, it has to be only on cash basis. When account is classified as NPA and subsequently upgraded, interest accrued during the NPA period should be recognized only when actually received. But if you create an FITL at the time of sanction of loan, that you need not reverse. Otherwise, if you have booked income, but which has not come, account becomes NPA, that you have to reverse. Every banker's wish list is that my account should become standard. I think I can skip this. I've already, and time is also run. I will take 5 minutes. I will
you can continue. You can continue.
I will take.
Yeah, sir. आप 5 मिनट लेट भी चालू किया था.
नहीं
5 मिनट ले लीजिए सबसे बहुत
नहीं मेरे को इतना एनर्जी मेरे में भी नहीं है. चाय भी एक ही मिली है, एक ही मिलने वाली है.
चाय तो अरेंज करवा देंगे.
आप जितना चाहिए
पूरा रिस्ट्रक्चर कर दीजिए.
So if there is a change in ownership, the account can be upgraded subject to certain condition. Even under IBC, if the new person comes,
resolution applicant,
account becomes standard. But there are conditions. One, that incoming person should be qualified or should not be disqualified under section 29A. Incoming promoter should have minimum 26% equity. Incoming promoter should be single largest shareholder and he should be in control. Control has been defined under companies. And condition for implementation of resolution plan as per section 1C of the circular are to be complied. That means RP4 rating. This I think we can skip. Trade-off between RP4 rating and hit to be taken by promoter lender can result into several rounds of iteration, which can result in delay in whole process and value destruction. This I have seen personally in many cases. Lender says that why 10%, give me 11% interest. Rating agency says that if you charge 11% interest, I'm not comfortable, your financials are not supporting. You better do it 9%. So that tug of war keep coming. But the best part about this circular, it gives full flexibility. There is no requirement of any promoter's contribution. In CDR, there was a requirement. I think it was 20%.
Yeah, I think
20%.
some requirement was
Yeah.
there.
No cap on amount which can be considered unsustainable. No requirement to meet ratios. You just need RP4 rating. That's all. Compromise proposal. Compromise means OTS, one-time settlement. Those who are in consulting, they may have used this mechanism. Compromise proposal where time for settlement exceeds 3 months. That also comes under this circular, and that means you need RP4 rating. However, I have seen banks giving 12 months time and no RP4 rating. Because this is a very, what I would say, impractical requirement.
Means RP4 rating is an impractical requirement.
RP4 rating is a practical requirement, but for restructuring account. For OTS, when you are giving a 12 months time, why you need RP4 rating?
That is means RP4 rating is.
This is under restructuring, IBC नहीं, ये restructuring का session है.
This independent credit evaluation done by rating agency is a very important step. I have already discussed this times. It ensures objectivity in resolution planning, and it is linked with TV studies, because during restructuring, some requirements are forensic need to be done, TV study need to be done, and this credit evaluation, independent credit evaluation need to be done. So these are some of the requirements. So ICE has to be linked with TV study. You can't have a situation that TV study is considering 60% capacity utilization and ICE will consider 70%. That is not possible. Then there is a requirement of compliance monitoring. Other options for debt resolutions are for cases, MSME cases for debt up to 25 crore. RBI has come out with a separate scheme during COVID time, but last date of that is gone. For COVID, there was a separate scheme, that time is also gone. The other option is resolution plan under insolvency. The fourth option is prepay under insolvency. I will leave it to insolvency professionals to discuss that. OTS is an option which banks are considering. Earlier used to consider. Now with banks' health having improved substantially, they are no longer too keen to consider OTS. So that is the thing I have been personally seeing. Now they say that, okay, it can't be, you can't pay, we'll drag you to insolvency. Insolvency is a hammer which they are now trying to use many times. So OTS and sale of loan to ARCs are other two options. Prepeg, we all know what is prepeg and why it has not been so successful. How many cases have been resolved under prepeg?
Five. Out of which already one has failed.
One has failed. 5 in 5 years. One on every year.
Because the conditions are such. No?
Why prepeg failed?
Conditions are such that before.
Prepeg, they borrowed from London, UK.
Sir, the major deterrent is two major deterrents. One, the deterrent is certificate affidavit from the present management about 2090. That and there is no proof transaction and no proof transaction, and that becomes a biggest hindrance. Proof कहीं ना कहीं होना ही है, preferential तो मिलना ही है आपको. उसका affidavit देगा और वो पास करेगा, कोई contempt का केस कर देगा, पूरा गाड़ी अटक जाता है. So no one is ready to give that proof affidavit, and that is the biggest deterrent. Second deterrent is basically costing. प्रीपैक में क्या होता है, पहले आप रेजोल्यूशन प्लान ओके करवा लेते हो एक आरपी से, बैंक ओके बोलती है कि हाँ ठीक है चलो हमको ओके लग रहा है, आप गो अहेड फाइल द एप्लीकेशन, फिर आरपी सुपरविजन के लिए आता है, मैनेजमेंट सेम रहेगा, वही काम करेगा, चेंज ऑफ मैनेजमेंट नहीं होगा, उसमें कंट्रोल चेंज नहीं होगा, वो करेगा, फिर प्लान पास होने के लिए रखते हैं, तब जब वोटिंग के लिए जाता है वहां इश्यू आ जाता है, हेयरकट है तो वापस फॉर्म जी इश्यू करो, कंपटीशन आ जाती है. अगर प्रीपैक ही है तो देन इट शुड नॉट हैव दैट फॉर्म जी पॉइंट. हेयरकट का भी एक जीरो हेयरकट, देन ओनली इट सेल्स थ्रू. तो वो जीरो हेयरकट, प्रीपैक, ऑल दिस थिंग्स, जीरो हेयरकट एंड दिस स्पूफिंग आर द मेजर डिटरेंट.
Problem is another thing is that if I have to see, ultimately you need lender's consent. Third majority ना 66%.
हेयरकट का इशू आता है ना, जब कंसेंट आता है हेयरकट आता है.
आपको लेंडर्स यदि रेडी है करने तो रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग कर दो, इंसॉल्वेंसी की क्या जरूरत है?
नहीं सर, वो सीवीसी का जंगल है. जो आप ये पूरा स्टोरी जो हमने स्टार्ट किया था ना आपके सेशन से पहले, जो बात हो रही थी, और पिल्लर की बात हुई, चौथा पिल्लर हम बलि का बकरा ढूंढ रहे थे, स्केपगोट. सब में वो बैंकर्स क्यों नहीं कर रहे थे? आप हर एक स्कीम देखो, एवरी स्कीम देयर वाज डाइल्यूशन, एंड द लास्ट स्कीम केम वाज आईबीसी व्हिच इज कंप्लीटली डाइल्यूटेड. अभी उसमें कौन गले में गंट बांध देगा? तो आरपी है ना. सो दैट्स वेयर आरपी, और आरपी में खुद के बीच में कोहेसिवनेस नहीं रहा. सो प्रैक्टिकली दैट इज वेयर द होल थिंग अराइज. इट्स अ सिस्टमैटिकली ड्रॉन बाय द रेगुलेटर्स, एंड एज अ आरपी we all in the same fraternity, we say yeah, again we have chosen the power field. We should not cry because this is systematically planned by the regulator since inception. It is you who have not understood that what is their plan, and then you cannot creep. Take the challenge and work it, but then you have to work within that framework. You cannot go beyond the framework. And
प्रीपैक में क्या दो बार प्लान हो जाता है इनडायरेक्टली. पहले आप प्लान अप्रूव करवा लो प्री आईबीसी, फिर आईबीसी चालू होता है, उसके बाद वापस फॉर्म जी करो, फॉर्म जी में वापस दूसरा प्लान, एंड दे क्रेडिटर्स हैव एन ऑप्शन टू सिलेक्ट द प्लान. दैट इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज.
जो प्रमोटर में लूज द कंपनी,
फायदा नहीं है.
हाँ, और वो बोले
फायदा नहीं,
प्रमोटर बोलेगा मैं रिस्क क्यों लूं, वापस फॉर्म जी पब्लिश होता है तो मैं रिस्क क्यों लूं. एंड 29A का एफिडेविट इज एन कूफे. कूफे का प्लस आरपी आ जाता है कंट्रोल में, और उसके बाद पूरे
पांच छह महीने अभी ये 5 को काफी लेट, मतलब 21 तक भी 4-5 नंबर थे. आई सोच 5-6 पब्लिक अनाउंसमेंट वगैरह आए हैं.
प्रीपैक क्या अभी लेटेस्ट मतलब प्रोसेस में रहेंगे, हुए 5 ही है, पास ऑर्डर 5 ही है, कंप्लीट 5 है, ऑर्डर आके 5 हुए.
Second, application unless you put something, your listing is not done first of all.
और उसमें
NCLT have their own problems.
और उसमें टाइमलाइन स्ट्रिक्ट है, 120 डेज का स्ट्रिक्ट है.
फायदे भी काफी है. एक एलसीडी हेडिंग देख रहा था मैं, कंपनी वाज लाइक वो सेमी टेकओवर का जो कोड वगैरह है ना उसको बाईपास करके ट्राइंग टू डू इट इन प्रीपैक.
Sir, on lighter note,
5 से ज्यादा तो स्नेहल भाई ने लेक्चर लिए होंगे प्री पैक।
इंडिया में प्रीपैक और दूसरा ये जो इंटरनेशनल रेजोल्यूशन फ्रेमवर्क, इसके ऊपर जितने लेक्चर्स हुए हैं ना, उतना काम ही नहीं हुआ है, इतना लॉ भी नहीं हुआ है।
Okay, settlement. So settlement, we all know settlement is an option for debt resolution.
नहीं प्रीपैक ज्यादा क्या हुआ है, तो बहुत बड़ी गवर्नमेंट लायबिलिटी आ गई है, तो ओनली गवर्नमेंट लायबिलिटी को हेयर कट, बाकी सबको पूरा पैसा देने में वो काम कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, बट उसमें भी तो फॉर्म जी इशू करना पड़ता है।
ये तो लगेगा ही, लेकिन
नहीं, अगर हेयरकट नहीं है तो कोई इशू नहीं है सर, हेयरकट है तो ही इशू।
फायदा क्या है? ओसी का हेयरकट नहीं,
किसी का भी हेयरकट नहीं,
एफसी हेयरकट लोगे, ओसी हेयरकट
FC cannot be done.
Correct me. Now I think the new law introduced in this amendment which are introduced in monsoon session. They are talking that every company will come under the PPEX.
Yeah, वो credit led resolution process
होगा, क्या होगा?
तो ऑप्शन है ना।
हाँ, ऑप्शन है, लेकिन बैंक will opt for that only now. Why they will go for insolvency directly?
But
they will try that and then only they will move that to insolvency.
But 29A still remains to be a question now. Because somebody is not qualified to take back their own company. Then in that case, the person still remains.
सर क्वालिफाई का बात छोड़ो, PUFE का एप्लीकेशन आप अपनी कंपनी के लिए भी दोगे, नहीं दे सकते, तो कोई नहीं देगा, वहीं पे सिस्टम आप प्रॉब्लम। PUFE का एप्लीकेशन दोगे, कोर्ट का कॉन्टेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट आ जाएगा।
चल रहा है और एक मीडिएशन बिफोर एडमिशन इज आल्सो इज दैट, वो भी मतलब प्रॉब्लम देखो, देयर आर सेक्शन 7 is no challenge, no issue. Section 9 is the issue. Section 10 में तो आज भी मतलब वो 2-2 साल के पहले एडमिशन ही नहीं देता है।
सेक्शन 9 में भी कई मालूम है, जो कोविड के पहले के केसेस है ना, अभी लास्ट के less than 1 crore के
Issue, I just give a few lakhs, and then I don't even want to pay the IP, the RP.
और those
Let me finish my this thing.
First, let's complete this.
Prepack we have discussed. Settlement we have discussed. So settlement one of the challenge is that most lenders insist that you have to make a down payment along with the proposal. Without down payment, they don't consider. And in many cases, borrower says, मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है, जो था मैंने कंपनी को बचाने के लिए लगा दिया, अब मेरे पास कंपनी का एसेट छोड़ के और कुछ नहीं है, बेच के ही मैं आपको चुका सकता हूँ. So that is one big challenge.
Settlement and OTS would be same.
Settlement OTS. Sale of loan to ARC is another option. So Swiss challenge, I hope everyone is aware what is Swiss challenge. Most earlier lenders used to sell loan on SR basis. Now most of them are selling on 100% cash basis because most ARCs have not done justice to SRs.
But ARC should be
ARCs,
ARC should be willing to buy.
ARCs are willing to buy, but provide
deep discount.
Deep discount. They are there to make money.
Sir, it is a risk also. No?
It's a risk also.
ARC business
and most ARCs, they want some contribution from the promoters. They don't want to put their money. They want that if I'm buying a 100 crore loan for 30 crore, at least 10 crore is chipped in by promoters, even as a deposit with ARC. So his risk is even less.
Yeah, so at least.
But whether officially promoter can give to us?
Oh, they back end by SR.
Officially, promoter is not supposed to utter word ARC in front of lenders. They are not supposed to. Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rathi ji, for taking this wonderful session. So, Rathi ji, really, session is the base for which our IBC is upon.
resolution plan सब बना रहे हैं ना, this is the base from which our resolution plan comes into play. And this is the base where you come to know how these things have come up. Without knowing this, working in IBC is really challenging.
Correct.
This is the really base, and you took us through very nicely in detail. Now I think everyone knows what circular is all about, and then whosoever has missed something on it, go back to your drawing board, pick that circular, really good circular to understand the things, and that will help you to resolve in IBC also. Even as a IP, when we are working, this will help in a lot of way. So this is a really good insight that has been given. Maybe IBC के बाहर का था, लेकिन yes, really useful to all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And full house today.
What is important is so many terms that are coming. We all means a mindset, the terms, your approach, and what is important is to understand the mind of the bankers, right? Means how things have progressed.
The logic behind it,
quite
the concern
informative.
behind it.
सर रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग में जो आपने रेटिंग भी बताई जो 500 करोड़ से अबव है उस पे अगर रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग करते हैं तो आपको रेटिंग कंपलसरी है करेक्ट और
OTS
OTS के लिए भी लेनी जरूरी है
So RBI सर्कुलर के हिसाब से लेनी जरूरी है बट nobody takes
3 महीने में टोटल पेमेंट कर रहा है तो नहीं जरूरत है 3 महीने से ऊपर का पेमेंट है तो जरूरत है
बैंक हैज टू पे एनीवे
सर जो आपने
क्या रेटिंग का फायदा क्या RP4 रेटिंग का फायदा क्या है कि अकाउंट आपका स्टैंडर्ड हो जाता है
बस
और कोई फायदा नहीं है मत करो स्टैंडर्ड इतना ही तो है
12 महीने में तो पे 12 महीने में पे ही हो जाएगा तो खत्म ही हो गया
Sir, you mentioned about withdrawal of
forbearance benefit.
Give some example. Basically what was withdrawal?
Forbearance is simple. Earlier during CDR time, if you do restructuring and if you meet certain guidelines, then your account becomes standard again.
Day one.
Yes.
The day that is passed.
No, even when the reference to CDR is made, the further aging of the account is stopped.
Downgradation stops.
Before it is.
So that was the benefit. That benefit was taken away by Raghuram Rajan. And that's a very good step he took, but at a wrong time. He took the step when entire country was going through downturn. And that time he made this thing. So
अपने जो चेयरमैन है उनको किधर जाना है वर्चुअल वो है प्रेजेंट Chairman, welcome.
Yeah, good evening. I am and Fenil Bhai treasurer. Both are we are at Pimpri branch, and I think today the entire our study group has done a wonderful. I have been listening for last more than 45 minutes. I think बहुत बढ़िया discussion हो रहा है and I'm very happy. I think this is going to rock the entire year. We have so worthy speaker and all worthy person in the group. So my heartiest congratulations to the IBC group for a wonderful meeting. Vimal bhai, Jinal Bain, everybody has put a lot of efforts. And with me, our treasurer from Ahmedabad, Fenil bhai is here.
Yes, friends, a very good evening. So along with Chairman sir, I was also listening to few of the deliberations. So bus, let's continue this zeal and let's make such contributions so that we can take this insolvency and bankruptcy study group to much more higher level. Thank you all for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ketan bhai, we are full talk.
Yes. And with me, even Abhishek is there. He could even recognize your voice also.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Yes.
अभिषेक भाई.
Yes.
थोड़ा आपकी आवाज सुनना चाहते हैं सब लोग.
Vimal bhai, very good evening. Snehal bhai, Jinal Ben, and all the IBC group participants. A very good evening to all of you. A few days before, we had a good conference in Pimpri Chinchwad on insolvency and bankruptcy code. I think so. This profession is a new, better avenue and a new professional avenue is there for all the chartered accountants. So along with this, we should inform our members that opportunities are there. So I'm sure you must have deliberated in this and under the guidance of Vimal Bhai and under the leadership of Ketan Bhai, I'm sure we are going in a very right manner ahead.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Abhishek, a small thing. We would look forward to hear from you on voluntary in the days to come.
Yes.
On voluntary liquidation.
Right.
Abhishek has been handling a lot of voluntary in past. So we would listen from him very challenging issues. So anytime available, we would like to hear from you on the voluntary side also.
Definitely, anytime, sir. Yes.
If you're coming to Bombay, then let us know. We will plan accordingly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I usually take on Section 59 voluntary liquidation. We have handled quite a few assignments, around 40-45 assignments we have handled. So I can definitely give some inputs from my side.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Internal IBC.
Now I request Jayesh to take second. Introduction.
आज का time sufficient नहीं होगा.
नहीं sufficient is okay, but
जितना बार resolution करते हैं
presentation दे दूं क्या?
Presentation
कहाँ पे दी?
Presentation आपने
Rajan sir को दे देते. I request Rajan sir to introduce.
मेरा iPad पे है इसलिए.
एक मिनट वो उसको
हाँ तो वो लगेगा ना.
हेलो आप प्रेजेंटेशन ले लो ना इधर से
नहीं
डिस्प्ले करने के लिए या तो फिर उसका ये
आप इनको ईमेल कर दो. अब है ईमेल कर दो ना राठी जी.
इधर से आएंगे 2 मिनट में. आपका है ना क्या लैपटॉप?
हाँ मेरा iPad है ये.
iPad में आ जाए.
आपको हाँ बोलो ना. क्या नंबर है?
703 है.
हाँ
ये तो मेरे को
व्हाट्सएप पे कैसे नंबर कैसे डाल?
703
पहला सेव करना पड़ेगा ना. बोलो
703 9156
9156
9156
हाँ.
Meanwhile, Survi madam, you can.
नहीं वो सर राजन सर.
Just give me 1 minute.
वो छोटा कर.
छोटा नहीं वो छोटे में भी बड़ा बोलेंगे. पर्सनैलिटी है ना.
मेरे पास एक ट्रिक है. आपको
राजन भाई एक अच्छे पॉइंट भी है तो
व्हाट्सएप किसी को करना नंबर सेव नहीं करना तो भी कर सकते.
शायरी वगैरह
मैं वो सब कैसे करते हैं? कॉपी कर
चाय पिलाने के बाद ही बताऊंगा.
हर किसी को बोल देना चाहिए.
पाठवला तुम्हाला बघा. आला ना. स्क्रीन चेंज कैसा करेगा?
आपके पास विंडो कंट्रोल
अभी बताता हूँ थोड़ा. अभी 10-12 हुआ, ऐसे तो 20 हुआ. 20 कर दो चलेगा.
मैं कंप्लीट करूंगा तब तक
कल होने वाला है दूसरा. आई एम जस्ट जोकिंग.
So friends, we have with us today a very learned speaker to talk to us on insolvencies in real estate projects. So of course, whatever is given to me, I will definitely come out with that. But let me tell you, in one of the insolvencies where I was the RP, One of the plans that I was received, that plan was given by Jayesh. Means he was the person who guided the RA to give the plan. So I tell you, from day one, I had this in my mind that if Jayesh has been behind this plan, then definitely that RA is going to become the SR. And that was the situation, and ultimately that RA became the SR. So that is the expertise of Jayesh Bhai. Generally, where he puts his hand, generally he gets success. And I can tell you out of what I hear from all my professional friends that Jayesh Bhai carries a reputation for real estate projects, that if you want a resolution, then it is Jayesh Bhai who can give you one. Having said that, I will give you more information of Jayesh Bhai. Jayesh Bhai is the founder of Jayesh, Sanghrajka and Company LLP and co-founder of Incorp India, and is the designated partner at Incorp Restructuring Services LLP. He has a career of over 37 years, a distinguished career, and he is recognized everywhere as a senior insolvency professional for his expertise in corporate finance, investment banking, corporate restructuring, private equity, revival plans, and M&A advisory. He has very high profile clients, including government agencies on complex transactions, related issues pertaining to company law, turnaround strategies, taxation, and auditing. He has played a pivotal role in assisting numerous corporations with fundraising needs, securing over INR 6,000 crore through debt and equity routes. Jayesh Bhai has effectively resolved debt claims exceeding 30,000 crores in distressed situations. His extensive experience in real estate sector has enabled to ensure that he has got 20 successful resolution plans, and he has protected the interest of over 25,000 profiles involved in real estate companies undergoing CIR. Jayesh Bhai has provided advisory services to numerous companies facing financial distress. Jayesh Bhai has led to successful resolutions for distressed companies and made a significant social impact by preserving jobs, contributing to economic revival, and enhancing investor confidence. I present to you Jayesh Bhai. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
थैंक यू राजन भाई एंड एवरीबॉडी हियर। राठी साहब, आपने तो, मुझे लग रहा था कि आप 5 बजे तक कंटिन्यू करें, और मैं ये आजकल रियल एस्टेट हैज बिकम सो, यू नो, एवरीबॉडी टॉक्स अबाउट रियल एस्टेट एंड एवरीबॉडी हियर आई थिंक हैज हैंडल्ड रियल एस्टेट, like Manish has handled, Ashish bhai has handled, Snehal bhai has handled, everybody has handled numerous cases, Praveen bhai has handled, and everybody here, Iman bhai has handled. So all of us here have handled so many real estate resolution that it's a really great thing. If we see real estate industry, what is the why real estate is so important and why so many resolutions are happening. So if we, you know, there are this market, real estate market, जो भी segment बड़ा होगा economy में, उसमें ही ज़्यादा NPAs होगा, तो natural है। और NPAs होना, one of the reason is that 20% of the cases in IBC are real estate. वो size of the economy में भी उसका contribution real estate का काफी बड़ा है, and that is the reason loans have been given more and there are more NPAs also. And one more other reason was that from 2014 to 2018, so much funding was done to real estate that huge fundings was done by NBFCs. If you see NBFCs like Edelweiss, ILFS, IFL, Edelweiss, name it, Piramal, GM, जो भी थे बड़े लोग, उन्होंने इतना फंडिंग किया 2014 से 18 तक, और वो फंडिंग का जो स्ट्रक्चर ही ऐसा बना था, राठी साहब also can confirm it, that the structure ऐसा बना हुआ है कि जैसे पैसा टेक आउट करने को दे दिया, लैंड परचेस के लिए भी वो पैसा दिया गया. So that was the main reason, or some other transaction sister concern को ट्रांसफर करो, no मतलब कोई फाइनेंशियल ये था ही नहीं, कंट्रोल ही नहीं था, और ये सारा फंडिंग हुआ थ्रू एन AIF route. I am sharing my insight, whatever I have studied from all of my cases. So सारा जो भी पैसा आया AIF route से आया. अब AIF में क्यों लोगों ने इन्वेस्ट किया? अपने जैसे ही लोगों ने 18% 15 से 18% का रिटर्न ये लोग बताते थे कि रियल एस्टेट में AIF में आप इन्वेस्ट करो, you will get 15 to 18% return, and that was attracting the money in AIF. And these people were, all these NBFCs blindly were funding. Even institutions, sorry to say this, but even institutions like HDFC have funded so many NPAs account, now NPA, but in such a fashion that you can't believe that how can they fund this?
It was no RERA also, no, the control on account, bank account was not there, no. Like today.
Secured returns.
Yeah, and that was because, yeah. So the structure जो बने, वो as Manish was rightly saying, structure में they had to comply with RBI regulations. तो structure बना डिबेंचर का, AIF ने डिबेंचर कंपनी ने डिबेंचर इशू किए, और वो डिबेंचर इशू का क्या हुआ? डिबेंचर आर सपोज टू बी सिक्योर्ड, वो भी किसके ऊपर? डेवलपमेंट राइट्स के ऊपर. या SRA प्रोजेक्ट्स में क्या है? लैंड का राइट तो है नहीं, फिर भी उसको डेवलपमेंट राइट्स का सिक्योरिटी दिखा के ये सब सिक्योर्ड फंसाया. I believe me, all investors have been defrauded through this route, because they don't understand that AIF development rights are secured, not secured, and what is the nature of the security, ये किसी को पता ही नहीं था. And that is the way this whole cycle from 2014 and 18 was, and huge amount were disbursed.
People trusted HDFC.
People trusted HDFC. Blindly.
सर अभी इसी के लिए अभी 2 दिन पहले CLA के इवेंट्स में सेबी के चेयरमैन ने यही बात बोली कि इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन अपने इंडिया में इतना लोअर है कि जो पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं उनको भी इतना नहीं पता किस में इन्वेस्ट करना है, किस में इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना है. सो वन शुड इन्वेस्ट, बट हु विल इन्वेस्ट? दे आर नॉट.
पढ़े लिखे लोगों को इनकम मालूम है, बाकी लोग तो इनको चेक नहीं कर लेते हैं.
That is the reason that AIF में वो साइज है ना, that is also 40-50 lakhs है.
बिना पढ़ा लिखा रहता है ना, वो तो हर जगह से पूछ के इन्वेस्ट करता है.
People should not venture into that.
So I was highlighting this only, ये क्यों हुआ रियल एस्टेट में जो NPA हुए, मेजर रीजन जो भी हमने केसेस किए हुए हैं, एनीबडी हियर हु हैज डन, आशीष भाई ने भी किए, मनीष ने किया, सब जगह पे यही स्ट्रक्चर था. हाँ, हेमंत भाई ने भी किया, हर जगह पे यही स्ट्रक्चर बना हुआ है. और ये स्ट्रक्चर में, और सॉरी टू से दिस, all legal firms, same legal firms are now doing IBC work. Same legal. And पहले उन्होंने लोन दिलाने में ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर्स बना दिए, और बाद में अभी लोन रिकवरी में IBC का भी वर्क यही लोग कर रहे हैं. With all, so this is what has happened in the industry, why there are such a huge NPAs in this particular segment. And I am fearing now again the cycle of funding has started. AIF का वापस फंडिंग का साइकिल चल रहा है, रियल एस्टेट में काफी इन्वेस्टमेंट आ रहा है. एंड दिस होल रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टमेंट, hopefully there will be more safeguards, and maybe there will be lesser of NPAs, but more of monitoring. And this all institutions, same institutions have started AIFs. Same institution. You talk about HDFC, you talk about Edelweiss, you talk about anybody. I hope this is अपने में ही है ना ये सारा. So this is what is happening again. And believe me, ये साइकिल जो होगा 2 साल 3 साल के बाद वापस आने ही वाला है, ऐसे मुझे लग रहा है, जो हिसाब से अभी वापस फंडिंग चालू हुआ है. अब there was a correction in the real estate market after, and what happened because of IBC, and nobody had anticipated IBC, GST, demonetization, that this will have so much impact on the real estate industry. People were all AIFs were expecting rate of interest of more than 20%. बिकॉज अगर 18% देना है, 16% देना है, 17% देना है, तो दे वर एक्सपेक्टिंग, दे कॉल इट IRR, दैट मोर देन 20-22% मिलना चाहिए. उस हिसाब से ही वो डिबेंचर का स्ट्रक्चर बनता था. Yes. So this was the whole idea. Now this, and this was never a sustainable thing. This was not, the rising price was there from 2014, 2018 तक. 18 के बाद market slump and the whole project came to standstill. So this whole rotation cash flow जो बंद हो गया और उसकी वजह से there were a lot of things which happened. Fortunately, unfortunately, 2016 से IBC आया, 2017 से my first case was Aristo, which I got in February 2019, which was admitted in November 2018. अब वो November में this Free Press Journal guy had filed a petition he had given an unsecured loan, and that petition was heard quickly also, and it was admitted quickly also. I was not RP, I was not IRP. IRP was somebody, Mr. Gopal Krishnan, and I was because HDFC again was involved in this, Piramal was involved in this, so they thought that I understand real estate and they appointed me as a RP. That was the way I got this first assignment, where luckily I will be very frank. The assignment I wanted to take one big assignment, and that was to start with. So the negotiated fees of at that time was 8 lakh rupees. अब अगर ये IBBI के जो again I am repeating what is happening afterwards, IBBI के norms के हिसाब से तो ये तो 5 लाख ही मिलना चाहिए. अब यही मैटर COC के पास जाता, as on today, they would have told me, bhai, 5 lakh you will get. So this is where the changes have happened in the fee structure as far as I am also concerned, and it has impacted everybody. How this minimum fees has become maximum fees, which are as per the regulation. IBBI provided minimum fees to avoid people quoting low. Now the minimum fees have become maximum fees in section 7 and section 9 और जो भी petitions है, और PG matter तो भूल ही जाओ, जो अभी new regulations जो proposed है या जो भी है उसमें कोई PG matter लेने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. Sir, these are all 20,000, 50,000 for the whole process. Snehal bhai, am I right? Those are the numbers. And anybody taking PG matters, I have taken more than 20 PG matters. उसमें कोई value ही नहीं है. But I had to take those. I have not even recovered a single पैसा out of PG matters. किसी का आता है पैसा मुझे बहुत कम को लग रहा है और वो भी 25-50 हजार रुपए के PG matters के लिए. And why we want to take up this matter? See, people have to realize the commercial wisdom COC का होता है, commercial wisdom RP का क्या होता है, and the regulations are such, with all respect, that you cannot sustain your team only on IBC work. If you have, see, I have been lucky, I have got a huge team, so and there are different type of works we do, so it's fine. But if you are an RP only and only doing RP work, and if you get one assignment and you do that assignment and you hire 1 or 2 people, after that what? Next assignment नहीं आएगा तो क्या होगा? So these are the challenges which all we are facing, and this is all relevant to our discussion because IBC real estate में ये सारे. Now coming to why this real estate. So in India, these are all numbers which I have given. My team has made this, and so why real estate is so important for us. So commercial real estate, a lot of huge investments are coming in. REITs are now being formed, and there is a lot of employments happening in this industry. And even this Amitabh Kant committee. Now this committee, particularly what I have understood interacting with IBBI, they only want to protect home buyers, and they feel that RERA is very critical and important, and why RERA should not be used, why IBC should be used. This is what every time they prepare a report, they call people like me or Praveen bhai or Snehal bhai or Ashish bhai or somebody, and they ask us why IBC is good or RERA is good. What is your view, Praveen bhai? Your view, everybody's view. What is RERA is good or IBC is good?
RERA again, it is a tagging matter.
Whether any resolution has happened in RERA?
Yes.
How many? Compared to what in IBC? And in which state? And what is the quantum of?
So the one resolution that initially RERA evoked was one of the DSK matter in Pune. That was the first matter where RERA evoked the registration, and under RERA resolution was done.
It was a project wise, no?
Yes. So I was the part of that thing at that time.
Because
the institute had represented that time due to RERA, and the challenge in that was the same. At that time, we had only one home buyer going to the court and IBC getting evoked. So in RERA, the Gautam Chatterjee was there. He was of the view. It was first challenge was if RERA evoked, then the RERA Act says that the liability to complete the project or supervise will go to RERA authorities. They said that we don't have infra. So in there, the association came, blueprint, that resolution plan was given. Everyone took the responsibility, and the plan was put across. Tata Capital was funding it. They came with a point that हम तो ये सब कर देंगे. कोई जाके IBC वो कर दिया एक home buyer ने तो, because association बना था which complied of 90%. 10% were not part of it. तो एक भी गया तो क्या होगा? So that time we from our institute we had asked them, and I told Gautam by that time that you file a caveat in the NCLT stating कि भाई ये भी resolution ही है मेरा, और अगर resolution हम कर रहे हैं RERA में तो आप IBC क्यों evoke कर रहे हो? And it has gone successfully passed, and thereafter the plan is also passed, and I think it is implemented to a great extent. But yes, success under IBC or this IBC has various challenges. To answer Jayesh Bhai's point, whether this is better or which is better, there are certain challenges in IBC. Same way, there will be several challenges in RERA also. But RERA structure is made for that. The problem in RERA is it's a toothless tiger. One after you get a degree, how to execute that degree, no one knows. But yes, under the formation of this resolution model in RERA, if it is done, then yes, then it is successful and it can be done. But it has not been used widely. We tried to represent that several times, stating on this from institute also and other models also that this model should be used in RERA. And to do, if supervision, if RERA wants, then assistance from the RP to be taken. But there is a clash between RERA authorities and IBB. It did not sail through.
So because RERA,
one agency and the freehold land is there, but if it is an SRL slum land, or फिर RERA है, और फिर title.
so as Manish or Ashish Bhai, do you think any of our resolution would have happened in RERA? My resolution would have never happened in RERA. Your resolution would have happened in RERA. If there was an invocation of RERA, how do you settle financial creditors? How are you going to give them haircut? What are the other, whatever benefits are there in IBC? None of these benefits would be there in RERA. So like in Noida or other areas or other states, Maharashtra also forget. I don't think any project in Maharashtra can be resolved in, you are saying this case, but wo bhi 90% were home buyers and only one, and I suppose there were no financial creditors.
No, Tata Capital was there. The project
supported it.
So everyone supported the transaction and it sailed through. There was a recovery from the home buyers. There was unsold stock from which Tata Capital was to recover. From the remaining money which was to come from that project, around 75% was complete, 25% completion was pending. So from the recovery itself, it was to be done. So it was a win-win situation for everyone, so it sailed through.
So RERA and IBC, these are the challenges, and according to me, this IBC has done much better resolution. 180 resolutions around have happened out of 1,100 resolution in India. Total resolution framework में 1,100 करीबन हुआ. This 180 resolutions are of real estate. Out of that, 20 cases are mine. 10% of the cases I have resolved. Sorry to say this, but this is amount wise also. I will come to it. Why I am saying 20 cases also, Ashish bhai, I will clarify on it. Yeah. So
In your case, There was a new development that was a new developer entered into it, or the earlier developer only developed it.
Same developer. Everything same.
Then how does it actually afford it? There was an additional funding that came in.
Funding was from the receivables only.
Okay, and there was a discount from Tata.
Tata Chemical took over unsold stock. So he will be able to settle his debt from unsold stock.
There's no benefit to the investor.
No investor, nothing. Association took the onus on completing the thing. Architect took the onus on the taking the permissions.
So what are the avenues for dealing with real estate insolvencies in India? So avenues, what are the various avenues? One is IBC, one is SURFACE, one is debt restructuring, one-time settlement, or CDR and prudential framework of stress asset. So I have described various things. What are the benefits, advantages, or disadvantages? But after considering all the laws, I think all of us will agree that IBC is the better proposition, at least for real estate cases. Like even SURFACE, how are you going to invoke it in slum cases? Or how are you going to invoke this SURFACE under when there is a joint development agreement? See, the challenges of real estate are more of legal nature, legal structure of the transaction. Because lands are the ownership of the land is most critical. Ownership can be joined, landlord may be one person, the development right might be with other. So that is a freehold land, and this is one type of transaction. The second type of transaction is there are some revenue sharing model as well as area sharing models. Then there are models of slum projects where the land is owned by private parties, then it is a private land. If it is owned by government authorities like BMC or slum or MADA or some other authority, state or central government, then there is a different challenges. So these are the slums on various encroachment, maybe on private or government lands. So this type of structures, I don't think any SURFACE can resolve this type of structure. बराबर है सर? बराबर है. तो यही reason है क्या IBC is the only way of resolving real estate is my view. Or debt restructuring one time. Fortunately, unfortunately, restructuring this NBFCs or AIF structures, they do some restructuring. But PSU banks ने restructuring करना ये real estate का construction funding वाला matter हो या they were not allowing land buying. RBI doesn't allow funding for land buying. That is the reason developers goes to AIF for structuring a transaction in such a way that the money is infused at a land purchase stage. और इसीलिए वो डेवलपर 18% 20% देने को तैयार भी हो जाता है. So those type of things, even debt one-time settlement and all that, I don't think any PSU bank would be doing this. So mainly, so IBC only remains the framework remains where this is all possible.
तो स्वामी फंड का है तो उसका कैसा रिस्पॉन्स हुआ? स्वामी फंड जो आया था.
स्वामी फंड का
अभी वो एनजीओ में कन्वर्ट हो.
So avenue of stress asset fund, AIF and Swami fund. So Swami fund is structured as an AIF only. So government and private AIF to finance stall project, focus on last mile financing. So मेरा जो experience रहा है जो Swami fund से, आरे अगर पहले ही when he decides to submit his resolution plan, देखिए this is like a Swami fund अभी उनका भी experience what they say when you interact with Swami fund that जब तक NCLT plan approve नहीं करेगा तब तक हम कैसे funding करें?
So it is linked to IBC.
It is linked to IBC. And अगर Swami fund आता भी है pre IBC, अगर pre IBC also they can come in. But again there is a risk of feasibility, viability, haircut and everything. So pre IBC, why they will come in?
Also they want the priority in charge.
Right. Yeah. So pre IBC also they will come in. Last mile funding, anybody coming, whether a Swami or any interim funding will happen with priority of charge. अब वहां पे आप pre IBC करना चाहोगे तो nobody is going to agree to haircut. And this is all
the ceding of charge, nobody agrees now, how the bank will reduce their.
One is ceding of charge, one is the haircut. The other is whether statutory and other problems. So all these problems, how are you going to solve? So Swami funding has been successful. Post IBC, lot of projects. So what RAs do, they tie up with Swami fund, and then this work starts. And other example, if ongoing project, I think Saregama is one project. जो वहाँ पे Swami fund is funding, or under direction of court, and there is some arrangement whereby it is being done. So Swami fund can be successful, but post IBC, but pre IBC resolution applicant को support करने के लिए, they will support 3-4 RAs, and one of the RAs is successful, and they will do the funding. That part becomes easier. Because उस वक्त क्या हो रहा था, दूसरे AIF और दूसरे stress asset और ARC were not funding this type of project, even if it was passing through IBC. So this Swami fund was useful that way. Setia sir, am I right on this right now? This was what was happening.
Applicant submits the plan with individual approval from Swami fund. I think in all.
I will like.
So fund में वो दिखाता है. स्वामी का लेटर दिखा के source of fund हो गया.
I will like to add, Swami fund में जो लिखा हुआ है ना, targets affordable/mid-income housing.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Yes.
Because of that, so many of projects are completely out of Swami fund's scope. Because my understanding is that 90% of the unit has to be affordable. What is affordable? 2 crore rupees per flat.
Area square feet wise. Limitation was there, no?
650 square feet.
6 square feet, less than that.
Yes. So, बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट वो क्राइटेरिया ही मीट नहीं कर पा रहे थे, इसके लिए वो स्वामी वहां पे आ ही नहीं पाया.
So yeah, that is also one great reason. But नोएडा और NCR में ये कॉन्सेप्ट चला, बॉम्बे जैसे एरिया में नहीं चल रहा है because of the cost and so Noida and this other areas where the flat rates are less than 2 crores. Area का concept भी वहाँ, because the area will increase non-city, non-metro city. So वहाँ पे area का concept भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा था. So maybe those areas some funding has happened. So if there is a joint development and JV development agreement, so as I have already said that it is not possible to complete this type of project other than through IBC. SRA project again the same. Another issue is with MADA projects. I have dealt with MADA projects also, where the one of my case is Ornet, which is land belongs to MADA. The society was UTI society. MADA gave the allotment to the UTI society. UTI society appointed Ornet as a corporate debtor, and corporate debtor could not perform, and UTI society also got stuck. Such a learned people gave a contract to a very new developer. Maybe they have some square feet more area they will get, some other extra or some or other way. UTI society finance guy gave the project to one Mr. Vijay Machinder, and that project got stuck. Nothing has happened at the site, and even PNB also funded it after at once. For initially Piramal funded, and then PNB funded, and the whole project went into with zero development. Khadda khoda hai khali udhar. And more than 250-300 crores were disbursed along with the interest. And home buyers also are buying, and some of the, I am just sharing my experience, some of the home buyers are advocates, legal guys, chartered accountants, and in every project of ours I have found that all good people like us who can afford 3 crore, 4 crore, 5 crore flat, people like us only, like you, Snehal bhai, and advocates and other people. So those people have also got stuck. Surprisingly,
lender अपना उसमें भी है ना एक.
Yeah, Ornet में. Yeah, there are home craft का lender था. फिर Edelweiss had bought a Edelweiss.
ये क्या है सर? लालच, greed. आज वहाँ भाव क्या चल रहा है? 25,000 का. अब मैं बोलता हूँ लाओ सर 10,000 में तुम्हारा बुकिंग लेता हूँ, ले लो. पैसा पड़ा है ना, 10,000 में मिल रहा है, 25,000 का कितना गया पे ले लो. प्रोजेक्ट होगा नहीं होगा नहीं, आज वो 10,000 में बुकिंग करके ले लिया. ये सब उसकी वजह से है. So सब पढ़े लिखे जो फंसे है ना वो ग्रिड.
And there were also what in such type of cases I will share the experiences what happens here.
CL by what has happened, Manish knows about it, but one particular investor had booked for on behalf of more than 30-40 people flat in that same year. अब बिल्डिंग भी नहीं बना है और पूरा उसका प्लान भी प्रॉपरली अप्रूव नहीं हुआ है और अलॉटमेंट के लेटर्स इश्यू हो गए और ये पर्टिकुलर ब्रोकर ने अपना कुछ किया होगा अरेंजमेंट एंड ही माइट हैव गॉट एंड नाउअडेज द ट्रेंड इज दैट दिस ब्रोकर्स डोंट वांट टू पर्सन दे आर सोफिस्टिकेटेड ब्रोकर्स वो सब इन्वेस्टर को बताएंगे मैंने इसमें इतना माल खरीदा है आप मेरे आप भी खरीदो इतना रिस्क तो मैं भी ले रहा हूँ एंड दे वांट मिनिमम 5-6% of the and investor will never know how much they are getting it and even this has started again. This has all started again in this industry.
So it's all real estate में investment mostly happens with the outlook.
Yes.
अभी आगे वाले टाइम में outlook कैसा है तो अभी क्या है people are all feeling कि अभी real estate का टाइम है that is a general feeling अभी अगले 3-4 साल real estate का टाइम है तो इस वजह से लोग actually आते हैं मैं ना इस इंडस्ट्री में
But last 6 months, 8 months से तो real estate में
हाँ वो भी contrary
बिल्डिंग में तो फ्लैट मिलते ही नहीं बोले
सर आपको बेचना है तो बायर नहीं है और लेना है तो वो मार्केट बड़ा है शायद दोनों साइड से भाव पकड़ के रखा है पैसा लेके बैठोगे बिल सब होता है आज के
So what are our challenges? I think everybody knows what are our challenges. So understanding the legal structure is a basic thing in any real estate project. Understanding what are the titles, what are the way the whole land structure has been made, that is a major challenge in this industry. And that even today, people have started because of IBC, new contracts, new agreements are being made according to IBC. But whatever cases we have been handling, I think all of us are pre-IBC cases. I call it pre-IBC cases. Before 2016-17, all these cases have happened and all those fundings have happened. Projects were started 7-10 years back and those projects now got into IBC. Though most of them are getting resolved, but maximum, I am seeing maximum stress in places like NCR, Noida, and other places. Even number of cases are there. Number of cases are pending admission also. The other major issue in Mumbai market, I am seeing that redevelopment projects which were in proprietary or partnership concerns, which are stalled. Nothing is happening there. SRA projects also where those are stalled, but which are not in partnership or a proprietary concern, they are also stalled, and nothing is happening. There, the government in SRA now has becoming strict. Even high courts are giving decisions. They overrule even moratorium part. In 1 or 2, 3 cases, they have overruled that also. Barish is aware of 1 or 2 cases. I am also aware of 1 or 2 cases. In our own cases, High Court has ruled in favor of, even after passing of resolution plan, like Anudan case, which is now in High Court. That case was passed by Honorable NCLT. During implementation, this SRA people have invoked 13(2). मतलब आपने आपका resolution plan का zero value कर दिया. And those guys who SRA has paid also, I mean, successful resolution applicant has paid to LIC 25-30 crore also as per the plan, and remaining he has spent at the side also. But only there was a dispute between some SRA guys, some committee of SRA. They were demanding abnormal rent for past period and all that. And this we have to be very careful. Nowadays, even NCLT hearings, even high courts are very careful that you cannot touch SRA people. You will have to pay whatever is the accrued rent. You have to provide that accrued rent in the resolution plan. And that is what even they are asking in one of our case. They have asked for affidavit from SRA that you will pay the of the rent. So there has to be clear-cut understanding that provision for the rents have to be made.
In March quarter, around 6,500 crores real estate has been sold. Bank have sold their NPAs to ARCs. To my knowledge, it may be more, but 6,500 crores I'm aware of it.
So वो तो मैं उसका figure तो मैं दूंगा. ARC I have studied so much that I don't know how ARC business has become 27-28 ARCs are there in India. Out of that, major 4, 5, 6 all major ARCs I am dealing with, and I know how they are how they have taken the loan and why these assignments have happened and in what structure. If we go into that depth, we will have the other session on ERC. I will be happy to do that after 1 or 2 months. We can do on ERC industries. I have done a lot of studies. So that particular thing now, ERC is one of. So what is our role in IP in real estate? So understanding the project, managing CRP, we know how to manage, but managing home buyers and their aspiration, managing slum dwellers. In my cases, slum dwellers have come to our office also. What you can do? Amit Karya is handling we have got incorporate restructuring IP, which is having 10 partners. Amit Karya is one of the partners. The slum dwellers started coming to our offices. What is happening? And they sometimes you can't deal with them. They start threatening also. What you can do? आपका भी वही एक्सपीरियंस है? वर्कर था मेरे। हाँ तो वर्कर का स्टोरी मैं अभी बताऊंगा क्या स्टोरी हो रहा है मेरा केस में. So this slum dwellers, how do you deal with them? And they want solutions. See, they have been stuck for 15-20 years. One case of right builders I'm talking about, that slum people started coming to office. Then Amit had to go and meet slum dwellers. And we said 1 or 2 people from our office, explain them. They are ready to. Hall में बिठा के उनको समझाना पड़ता है. So as an RP, we have to play a proactive role to explain to them also what is happening. हाँ.
Finish once again. What you said? What you said?
One of the slum dweller committed suicide.
Okay.
Non-receipt of rent or newspaper advertisement.
Go to
Paying compensation.
Compensation.
Without COC approval.
मुझे ऐसा लगा उसका भूत रात को सपने में आया.
From the Carrera account. He has sufficient.
So luckily you have some money in their account.
हमको लगा आपने आपके अकाउंट से पे किया है.
The person who has filed the claim in the COC, I indicated this.
So what happens is in this type of case, that is where the role of RP also comes in, because you have to take some decisions which are not, COC is not going to agree. And taking many decisions which COC is not permitting, or they are not voting also. They are not even ready to listen. They don't want to take any decision. They don't want to take, but you have to spend money. In slum project in particular, if you don't pay for electricity or some small garbage collection and all that, and you wait for this every month, our reporting thing, 1 month you report everything, take approval of all COC. So I tell COC in every meeting, please visit the site. I record it.
Slum ke paas always they have a guarantee, so they invoke the guarantee. Performance guarantee is there.
No, that is with SRA authorities. Manish, that is with SRA authorities. So SRA authorities may have taken some refund also when they had involved in one matter. So that is a way we have to be very careful while dealing, and it is very risky also when there are slum projects. Then it is very, very risky to deal with slum projects. में आपको भी तो पता है क्या होता है, और we all know what happens.
Home buyers are COC member, na?
Yeah, home buyers are financial creditors, recognized as financial creditors, not as an unsecured credit, as a secured creditor so far. I hopefully they will be recognized as secured creditors. A lot of amendments are coming, whereby under liquidation also they will have some priority. When the project is already completed, where the possession is already handed over or not handed over, there is some debate. ये भी सब चल रहा है. When the possession has been given, OC is not received, what to do? That also things are happening. So these are all challenges, case to case basis. ये सब problem आते ही है. And when there is a very large layout, multiple buildings, 20, 30, 40 buildings, these all issues are there. Some buildings are completed, some not completed, some possessions forcibly people take. OC आया नहीं है, फिर भी forcibly ले लेंगे. आप क्या करोगे? And this has happened in the outer part of Mumbai, and in some cases in Noida and there also 80-90% of the towers are completed, and some people just take the possession. What to do?
My worry is that how IBC that you have taken a decision without COC approval in the best interest of all stakeholders.
Sir,
But how IBBI is going to respond to that?
Disciplinary order.
देखो मैंने एक समझा है IBBI
बना हवन करते हो?
हवन करते हो?
हाथ चलने वाले हैं।
सर
सबका अलग अलग व्यू है, अभी उनको पूछ लो, बताएंगे वो तो अच्छी तरह से।
तो हम लोग नसी there is always a debate with as Dayal bhai tells me that you take lot of risk. वो बोलता है ये IBC पढ़ो और वो हिसाब से काम करो, और मैं IBC पढ़ता हूँ, मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन है record everything in COC, record everything, and IBBI को मेल भी डाल दो क्या ये मैं डिसीजन ले रहा हूँ which is out of way. You have to report. You should report. Then what? See, what is my role? What is sir? What is my role as an RP? My role means our role. We are supposed to protect that particular project, and if we take decision in the interest of the project, and there is no malified intention, and we are trying to save COC को भी बचा रहे हैं, सबको बचा रहे हैं, तो स्नेहल भाई बोलते हैं महात्मा गांधी मत बोलो। स्नेहल भाई बोले आप अपना पहला संभालो, आप अपना जीरो रिस्क लो, पर मैं कभी कभी रिस्क ले लेता हूँ, मनीष मेरे से ज्यादा रिस्क लेता है, और आशीष भाई किधर है? आशीष भाई भी देते ही है। रिस्क लेना पड़ता है या नहीं लेना पड़ता?
थोड़ा कम लेते हैं।
कम लेते हैं। सबसे ज्यादा रिस्क यहाँ पे मनीष लेता होगा।
जो जितना ज्यादा रिस्क लेगा उसको उतना ज्यादा असाइनमेंट मिलेगा।
हमारे बीच में नहीं होता।
नहीं, the question is this that I'm just trying to just
all the approvals that are required, like all of them are there available with you when you
see when it is a RERA registered project now, if then it is possible to get all the details, you go to RERA side, you do some research, you see if you have a technical knowledge now, you appoint a BMC or a SRA, some officer or somebody, and you will get all the details. Documentation you don't require that support of CD नहीं भी होगा तो these are all public documents and registration ये वो सब मिल जाता है, even all flat owners agreement also you can get, all this is possible. तो वो जो regulation में जो लिखा है नया amendment है वो सब करो, वो declaration is not that difficult. नॉन रेरा प्रोजेक्ट में चैलेंज होगा, नॉन रेरा प्रोजेक्ट में फिर भी सब रजिस्ट्रार के ऑफिस में एंड व्हाटएवर रजिस्टर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट्स आर रिक्वायर्ड, यू आर इनवाइटिंग क्लेम, लीगल टाइटल,
पैसा चाहिए,
व्हेन लीगल
पैसा है तो होगा, सर्च ऑफिस काल में पैसा चाहिए,
whenever any project there is a start of the project, you have to go to statutory authority to get the permission, you go to BMC, MADA or SRA, वहां पे उनको डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करना ही पड़ेगा. So those all documents you can get from that department just by spending money. And that is the reason.
And the first month who pays that kind?
No, don't pay. So abhi see IBBI.
I made one statement. It is a business. Only one profession, not a profession.
It is a profession. Rajan bhai, that's why I differ.
6 महीना without any returns, without even if your fees आपको चलाना है, चलाना ही पड़ता है.
I differ. It's a profession.
So see what I have written, interfacing with regulators and authorities. So coordination with RERA, municipal bodies and state authorities. Legal जो ये real estate companies है उसके आपको उनके साथ coordination करना ही है. Feasibility, viability प्रमोटर को भूल जाओ आप, promoters are not there. आप कोई भी process में you assume that promoter is not with you. If he is with you and helping you, nothing like it. Most of the cases we have seen, our directors are not available. Whoever were the people behind are have become either shareholders and directors are somebody else. Who are you going to catch?
How are you going to shell out money for any of these government authorities?
आप पैसे का टेंशन ही मत लो, पैसा आज नहीं तो कल मिल जाएगा. हाँ, और उधारी में भी काम होता है, ऐसा नहीं है. some risk we will have to take. So what, and see, there are half completed project, full completed project. How do you strategize each project? It all depends on the what is the status of the project. In some cases where I have seen 70-80% of the building completed. Now one group has approached me. I am not an RP there from Noida. They have approached me that you advise us to bring, and court has ordered that you appoint some developer to Home Buyers Association, and they have come to me to seek guidance, help us in this. I've not been able to help much because of the, it is, I was also involved in something else, but they have been directed by court. Nowadays, courts are also directing where the Home Buyers Association come together. You first give a chance to them to complete the project.
हाँ सर, अमेंडमेंट भी आ गया ना उसमें, फैसिलिटेटर का अपॉइंटमेंट का। AR है और फैसिलिटेटर, तो ये होम बायर वाला फैसिलिटेटर है।
वो फैसिलिटेटर वाला कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी dangerous. My case, when my case first thing was Aristo developers. So Manish was there with me in the process. So we strict rule, Mr. Ravi Ganti was also advising me because it was new for me and I had not read IBC code at all, but I passed the exam. So all legal part, comma, full stop was being taught to me by Manish and Mr. Ravi Ganti. So they were helping me in understanding. I was using my common sense. So one fine day, there were two associations. One association guy told me that we want to come in the COC meeting. I asked Manish and Ravi bhai, don't allow, you cannot allow anybody third party to attend. Then I asked, then other association also came. But in the last meeting, when there was an IMC meeting where the plan was to be approved, before that also they attended 2-3 times, but I always recorded in the COC meeting that these people are wanting to attend, whether I should allow them or not. COC said, please allow. Law says that don't allow. That was a position at that time. So when this question of facilitator and all that came, one of the reason may be my case also and some other cases also. So I was issued DC notice also on that point, and by triple IPA also and our IBB also, and they understood it. I have recorded everything in COC meeting that yes, I am, because of you are giving me permission, I am allowing them to attend. And it was last meeting also very critical. So they had to understand, and there was anxiety with the home buyers. They have to explain to the home buyers to vote also. So that is the reason we recorded. So please, if you record it properly, yes, So this concept of this facilitator, whatever, it was being debated, discussed, and Mr. Sandeep Garg was after all of this. He looks after IBBI. He looks after all this home buyers issue. And he is pro, he is also pro home buyers, and government is also pro home buyers. So then association facilitator concept has come. But that concept also, with all respect, if you are going to pay peanuts to those facilitators, एक तो पहले AR को भी पैसा कम मिल रहा है.
अभी अच्छा कर दिया ना सर.
अभी मिल रहा है पर सर
अभी तो AR बनना बहुत अच्छा काम है. सब मिलेगा.
अरे सर,
और responsibility तो आपकी का ही है.
अरे but I am telling you, there will be, you can fix responsibility on AR also. There are some cases against AR also. It can happen. It is not that AR can. हो रहा है. ऐसे responsibility से you record it properly, everything can happen. See, problem is that AR also has whatever he is intermediary between COC and home buyers, and between RP and home buyers. So certain things he also has to do. But sir,
after this facilitator,
if there are
after the
you ask Hemant Bhai, how many cases we are doing together where he is AR, 3-4 cases. Some money has not yet come. One bill of big bill is pending.
After the fees, after the increase in fees of AR, the role of AR has increased. Previously, it was mere courier. इधर से लिया, इधर दिया, इधर से दिया. उसके beyond हो गया तो problem था. Now they have increased the fees and given a role beyond that.
Maximum what is he has to do? He has to represent whatever the home buyers are saying. He has to propagate across.
No, he has to explain, and a lot of things have increased. The scope is increased. The fees increased.
To deal with home buyers, RP's bandwidth will go if AR is not there. And you are dealing with 300, 400, 500 home buyers. The amount of energy it goes down is. आप हेमंत भाई को पूछो कितना एनर्जी जाता है.
There are 1,200. Okay. Now out of that 200 home buyers group A, कि भाई हमको ये समझाओ अभी जो they have not appointed me then they have to choose one of them. तो बोलते हैं कि आप हमको समझाओ. हमने 2 घंटे का Zoom मीटिंग लिया. 100 people were attending. and they all how IBC work, इसमें क्या होता है, which are the possibility, अगर हमारा बिल्डिंग कंप्लीट हुआ तो हमको क्या मिलेगा, इनकम्प्लीट हुआ तो क्या मिलेगा, अगर स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ तो क्या मिलेगा, क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर यू हैव टू आंसर, और 2 घंटे का मीटिंग भी कम पड़ा, और अभी तक मुझे अपॉइंट नहीं किया गया।
So there are, see,
सर हमारा एक केस में आपको इंटरेस्टिंग बताऊं, सर हमारा एक केस में इंटरेस्टिंग है, ऐसा ही था। आरपी ने वो 3 AR जो है ना नाम दिया है ना, उसका नाम कोई अप्रूव नहीं किया, तो उसने अपना एक AR डाल दिया।
so how do you see? I will finish. I will wrap up in 10-15 minutes. चलेगा ना?
हाँ सर।
So and we can carry forward future में जब भी
after you have finished to give a different flavor, to give a different understanding. एक में 2 4
आराम से तो मैं अभी 3 मिनट में खत्म कर देता हूँ।
नेक्स्ट मंथ पे रखेंगे ना मीटिंग,
इसी पे बोलूंगा,
इसका भी कंटिन्यूएशन है, जयेश भाई का भी कंटिन्यूएशन होगा,
तो पूछ रहा हूँ सर,
उसका भी कंटिन्यूएशन होगा।
So our role is see, as an RP, what is our role? To get the project completed. And why I'm happy with this, I'm under tension even today for 1 or 2 cases. There are huge tension and huge my personal liability can come also. But why I'm happy, because we have been able to give, like Aristo, we have been able to give homes to more than 700, 500 people, more than 500, 600 people. Now they are going to get possession also within few days. The biggest challenge is that one example of Aristo, which was my first case, there now the total development value is more than 10,000 crores. Can you believe the power of IBC? That project was stuck for 15 years. This claim amount was 3,000, which was settled under IBC. But जो माल extra जो बन रहा है, जो आज Prestige came into Mumbai only because of that Aristo matter, right? And today Prestige has taken another 50,000 project all over Bombay because of this particular entry from South. Why L&T Realty was against them and Prestige came in this. Okay, so the point is that we add a lot of value. And that is what we have to highlight. I try to highlight that economic value, what we are adding is not settlement of that 3,000 crores. The economic value is the project value. Project value today is more than 10,000 crores. We as an RP should be proud, and that gives us satisfaction. 500 home buyers are getting home. After resolution plan has been approved, today there are some challenges that developer is asking, some IAs have been filed for extension. That is another challenge. Aristo, in case of Aristo, there were 2-3 challenges. One big challenge now is that extension of timelines. Now developer is asking for 1 more year for completion as per the whatever was provided in plan and what now he wants. So people are opposing and people are now IAs have been filed that could decide whatever it is, but that is what is the position. So implementation challenges I don't want to discuss, and it's good. Now, this February changes for implementation is very critical. आज हम लोग बोल रहे हैं 1,200 plans approved total. Out of that 180 plans approved for real estate. Though that implementation is very critical. एक बार plan approve के बाद, like Anudan case, which might be now a failure because of some various other reasons. So this also will be a big opportunity for us, because now implementation के लिए RP is compulsory. Am I right, sir? RP is compulsory. His fees cannot be less than what he was charging earlier. And उसका project completion तक उसको continue रहना है.
Any
RP or profession, but that fees cannot be less than that. So COs
मॉनिटरिंग कमेटी में फीस कम मिलती थी ना, वो कवर. What if RP कोई फीस कम था?
It cannot be more. Cannot be more.
It cannot be more.
Less than also.
Manish, what we were discussing yesterday, right?
Cannot be more than the fees
of the RP. अगर उसको वो मिनिमम बेस पे करता रहेगा RP और मॉनिटरिंग में इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में उसको करना है काम.
हाँ तो वो तो है ना मैक्सिमम तो. So see, if you are getting 3 lakh per this, So during the CRP period, now again 3 will continue or not as implemented?
Up to 3 lakhs. They can negotiate for 1 lakh also.
Okay.
Maximum.
So the
Upper
regulation
cap.
says you cannot receive more fees than what you were receiving while functioning as an RP.
1 rupee, 1 rupee. 1 rupee भी. उसने किया है 1 rupee में केस.
Okay.
5,000
So that is one of the thing which is good, because the implementation of the plan now is becoming very critical in all of my cases. So there are huge challenges in implementing the plan. Now 1 or 2 cases I have seen that now COC themselves are internally interpreting what is written in the plan. Plan has been approved and everything has happened. Now they are interpreting whatever is
all plans.
Yeah.
Not only real estate, in all plans.
I'm talking about, that is what I'm saying, that this is what is going to be other big area of further litigation or further clarification, how law is going to develop.
Area of our further practice.
And this is where there will be good opportunities for many of us.
So I think, Jayesh, we should all network amongst us. Where you have done the resolution, the other side should work on the implementation side.
100%.
So that these issues can be resolved and opportunities for us is open.
I like one again example. Again, I'll because Manish ka hi ek matter mein, the implementation is happening. That guy has been able to take adjoining land also, and he is part of this monitoring committee, and the project is going to become a prime project. So these are the things which are happening. In this Aristo case also, they have acquired some adjoining land and they are making the project bigger. In my this sector 88 project of Ivy County, Gurugram, there also they have taken adjoining land and they have grown. They are growing like anything.
Here one question is, if I in a plan I have given, for example, let's take a illustrative example. There is 1 acre of land which is under there is some part of construction done there, which was the IBC. The company was taken over by the RA. Okay, the RA took the adjoining land. Okay, and then he merged all the land and created a new project. But in the plan, that is not mentioned. Can he do that? Is it an implementation of a plan or a failure?
He can do, because see, the point is compatible with the timeline. So is given. See, if you are buying today the project, you are buying X project with X boundary, X area, and look at the adjoining land. You are going to merge with that as per the statutory laws and all that. So that always happens. For any builder, even non-IBC also, when they buy one land, they can get adjoining land or adjoining society, they will merge. So they will make some provision in the plan also. And even if the plan may nahi hai provision, now what is if there is no provision in the plan? But
when you merge the adjoining land, the rise in FSI is more than proportional.
Correct.
It is not proportional.
Correct. But so now whatever business plan you have made, see,
मेरा simple question है, मतलब I am not countering any one of your proposals. I am asking you कि as per your views, my view obviously मेरा तो हमेशा मतलब South North.
He is against me, but we are partners.
From South North, but it is like if I have given a plan, there cannot be a single deviation from the plan is what loss is.
I mean, now what is happening, this is very critical. What you are saying, we have to report every 3 months the implementation status. So now this type of deviation, if you say this is a deviation, report in NCLT. Now NCLT and this guy will justify, monitoring committee also, you will say I am submitting this report. Monitoring committee will give the RA will give his justification. You put it as in a report to NCLT, see what is going to happen. आपको रिपोर्ट तो अभी देना ही है क्वार्टरली, तो आप दो रिपोर्ट में लिख के दो, these are the violations. Anyway, that is one thing. So role of litigation and legal compliances, that all we have to do. Sometimes now there is a concept that if the ongoing construction is happening and even RP will be allowed to sell the unit, RP will be allowed to do the RERA registration. All that is there. Am I right?
That's a good.
Yeah, that's a good, because they have learned over a period of last 6-7 years. They have learned what are the practical issues and what special requirement is there for real estate.
Here, RP requires a diligence, due diligence to be done. When I come with an allotment letter and tell you, sir, register kar do, वो सीधा आंख बंद करके रजिस्टर कर देगा ना तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा.
नहीं, never do that.
ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा आरबी को.
It will be a fraud case. What happens is we have to be very careful in real estate or any other case. See what happens, and all this can be done only with the permission of COC. No doubt, COC ka permission ke bina I cannot do registration also. But all that disclosure. But our duty is also to look at the legality of that particular allotment or whatever is being required. So we have to be very careful. Some fraud case will always arise. In few of my cases, there was double sale. Now, if this provision was there and the same flat double sale, if this provision was there and I was going to register the document, then it would have been a challenge. So we have to be careful. तो real estate में वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा.
क्या करोगे? हाँ? ये दोनों जन आपके पास है, अभी तो रजिस्टर करने का आपको पावर दिया है. डबल सेल है तो आप क्या करोगे?
मेरे को पावर है subject to see. I am always subject to COC.
COC ने बोला राजन भाई और मेरा फ्लैट था. उसी में राजन भाई का अच्छा इन्फ्लुएंस था.
हाँ.
बोला राजन का रजिस्टर कर दे, स्नेहल का नहीं कर. आप क्या करोगे?
Even if it is this an hypothetical question, this one COC will never allow because they are also bankers, they are also smart. They also give an NOC when there is a because once there is a mortgage, they will NOC is required. So whoever they have given NOC, they may say, okay, you can register this. Now some other guy comes, I will not register any of them, even if the COC says. Both of the cases, I will say, let court decide. Why I will take risk in that.
That is the best way. Without this pre-amendment, the amendment has come later on. Prior to that, I got an order from NCLT because there was an order which was required from NCLT directing me to register about more than 200 flats. Okay, in a particular project where it was not completed, it was half completed, and then we completed the project. We found the society. We have already handed over possession. Occupation certificate was obtained. Everything was been done from our side. In that case,
and that too you did
it
without COC.
Yeah, it was with COC.
Okay.
But still, we went to NCLT further, not only COCs. And even there was a case of double district. We asked both of them to go to NCLT, seek the direction from NCLT, let them decide, then only we will do.
Yeah, it has to be.
And what about the new regulation where you're supposed to give possession of the property even if, or the keys despite the construction not being completed?
No, that is not the record.
Not completed नहीं है.
That is not
construction not completed है ही नहीं उसमें. Possession देना है, complete हो गया तो आप soft possession.
चाबी दे दो, ऐसा लिखा.
Completion.
I don't know. There are
law cannot override the local land laws.
New regulations just coming in.
No, possession you can give. If ready, possession can be given if OC is there and with the permission of COC. With the permission of the COC, and possession is one thing, and the other is the registration. Suppose possession is already given, but registration has not happened. You can register it under this framework, but all subject to COC's consent.
And you can give the possession if the OC is in place. You can give it.
OC है तो आप दे सकते हो.
OC दे
तो फिर क्या है, आपका obligation खत्म हो गया.
But there are नहीं OC अगर आ गया है building का, they have to, home buyers also have to comply with all the other requirements. Payment, balance payment है, अगर suppose amenities का कुछ पैसा बाकी है, वो सब पैसा नहीं दोगे तो वो नहीं कर सकते.
हाँ.
Problem will be possession. पूरा जो आपका dues है वो
possession without OC नहीं दे सकते.
So
देखिए OC आ गया तो दे सकते हैं.
I will just please Manish. So possession वाला भी issue है ना. These are things are developing, and every cases there will be a different facts, but more or less facts will be क्या होता है. Generally the trend in the market is OC is not issued, possession is given. Okay, then what to do? Then sometimes registration is also not done and possession is given. So these are all various 3-4 scenarios are there, and with COC's consent and legally if it is possible, we should do it. And monitoring, and I was talking about this monitoring and implementation is becoming very, very critical. All of my cases, there are challenges, there are issues. Like 10 BKC case also, now they are going to hand over the possession. That also is happening smoothly. Again, it was Adani took over, and now also that project value is more than 10,000 crores. But these are critical things. But we had faced challenges. And in that plan, luckily lawyers had, not luckily, unluckily, they provided, there was no provision for implementing agency. Implementing agency only consisted of RA and one representative of home buyer. दूसरा कोई उसको रखा ही नहीं. Lawyers are very smart that way. They also know how to frame the plan. Now new law is there, so that provision will be required. But these people also have played around this implementing, agency thing also. So last COC meeting, now we have to be thorough, record everything. What is implementing agency?
Proactive attempt to tell them that in the monitoring committee, it is expected that the lead member also.
See, it all depends on COC's mood, whether they want us or not. And RA, if COC insists that yes, we negotiation to hota hi hai, because the resolution plan should mention what is going to be the monitoring agency or not. So there, whether whatever is the provision that has to be voted on. So you can ask for amendment, and people ask, COC can ask for amendment. So if they ask for amendment, well and good. Otherwise, what is our role? We can just explain there is no provision for monitoring committee. You take care. Whatever is our view, we should tell. That's it.
In one of our cases also, they were not recommended RP to be a part of that. Even though it was a construction.
In one of our cases, we have replaced the RP. In one of our cases, in monitoring committee, we have replaced the RP. And got other RP in the monitoring committee.
But there is a provision when they frame this in our this also monitoring committee ka constitution may also they have a provision to change in RP also. Some provisions are there. Maybe something happens to RP, then what? Then also you will have to replace.
And you can always go if the RP you feel, look, RA feels that the RP is not conducting the monitoring activity properly. He can always go and ask NCLT for replacement of RP, and the RP replacement happens. In monitoring committee, we have got it replaced.
So these are all challenges in real estate insolvency. I mentioned most of them we have discussed also. Home buyers as financial creditor, delayed resolution, prolonged negotiation, etc. goes on. Funding constraints, regulatory overlaps, conflict between RERA and IBC, valuation challenges. Now, valuation is a big challenge everywhere. In one of our case, the matter has gone up to Supreme Court for valuation. Limited bidders. The plan is going to be given, but the matter Supreme Court has not yet decided. In Adani's case of valuation. अच्छा है ना? So the law will develop. It is like an IBC. Land title and encumbrances are always a challenge, and litigation by promoters and creditors. You promoters and creditors can create all type of litigation. We have to be very, very careful. They can do anything. अभी साहब शायद आप वही बताओगे क्या कैसे litigation promoters लोग create करते हैं, and they can go to any extent. Operational and statutory liability is always project specific viability. So see, when there are multiple projects in a company, the law is again developing, but that is what it is. So this is again a different topic. We can take it separately. So these are the major amendments, landmark amendments जो भी हुआ है February 25 में. Facilitating possession, handover to home buyers, appointment. This has all come recently, and one seminar can also be done on this, what possession issues, home buyers issues, etc. So next year का पूरा topic हम लोग we will decide बराबर है, and we can
your guidance.
Yeah, my not guidance.
Disclosure of MSME after February. Majority of the community.
Yeah.
किसी ने अपना फॉर्मेट अमेंड नहीं किया चल रहा है न्यूज़ पेपर में कोई भी देखो तो पूरा नहीं फॉर्मेट किया नोबडी आइडेंटिटी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से डिस्क्लोजर.
So there is a participation of land authorities in COC meeting, like Noida, MHADA, or anybody, or even participation of RERA. You will have to invite them at least to participate. No, forget them. 10% home buyer and all that, forget. Any land authority, if it is MHADA or SRA or even we should invite SRA authorities also to the.
Whether they come or not is not an issue, but your invitation is issue. If you don't invite, DC is there.
Yeah. So मेरे को so this all now these are the regulations. In a way it is good. What happens is we have to give them opportunity to appear. This is particularly very critical in places like Noida and Gurugram, where the plot itself was given on installment basis. अभी 10% दिया, 15% दिया, building has been constructed and balance 80-90% we are saying they are operating creditor and don't give them anything. That is what is the law. Government का land 10% 20% आपने उसको पैसा दिया, installment आप भर नहीं रहे हो, and then you go into insolvency and now you become an operating creditor. How are you going to? And the matter Supreme Court also decides. Now one case they will decide they are operating creditor, and other cases they will say secured operating creditor. All that also is a big challenge.
But sir, ये हो रहा है सेक्टर ऑपरेशनल क्रेडिटर्स बोला, लेकिन उसको मिला कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि ऑपरेशनल क्रेडिटर्स में सेक्टर या अनसेक्टर मिलना तो उसको कुछ नहीं है, फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर्स को नहीं मिलता।
ये लॉ ये ऐसा बना है तो तुम उस पर क्यों डिबेट कर रहे हो? हम थोड़ी लॉ में लिखा है तुम ऑपरेशनल है तो ऑपरेशनल है, पर यू लॉ मेकर ने किया नहीं।
Snehal bhai, on this also this also point IBC is going to come out new whatever amendments are going to come after 1 or 2 3 months, whatever it is decided. There will be decision on operating creditor of the land title and all that stuff also. Statutory dues के रेनबो मुझे ज्यादा लॉ नहीं आता है, पर कॉमन सेंस से बोल रहा हूँ, वो भी सब अमेंड हो रहा है. जो they are going to come out with a clear cut framework. That is what is the target. That is what is going to be the next changes in the law.
Secured creditor.
ये स्टील कैसे सिक्योर्ड होगा? रेनबो की बात कर रहे हो? रेनबो में वो वैट था और जी वैट था, जी वैट वाला इशू है, उसके अलावा कहीं भी नहीं है।
एम्बेड वाला भी यही बोलता है, एम्बेड वाला भी डालता है
क्लेम डालते हैं, लेकिन वो है ही नहीं, एम्बेड में वो प्रोविजन ही नहीं है जो जी वैट में था।
अच्छा, अभी now we are nearing 6 o'clock. So monitoring committee for resolution disclosure of MSME registration. Now this is a very critical. बहुत सारे cases में अभी है ना, developers have become smart. In one or two cases this has happened. Abhi now they, after the CRP starts, they are applying for MSME registrations. And even RP is allowed to do it.
सर वो MSME कभी भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, कभी भी RP में जाने के बाद भी वो कर रहे हैं, और उनको पता है कि अभी जो लिमिट्स आ रही है उसके कारण वो MSME में जाएंगे तो उनको बेनिफिट मिलेगा।
अब उसका मेरा अपना कंसर्न ये है, all these facts our duty is to record everything in COC. I always believe that please be very clear that record everything whatever you do and whatever, and take COC's permission, then only do it. And COC is allowing also, they also want that ex promoter aata hai, things may become easier for them.
Jayesh bhai, I have only one application काम आएगा, and anybody can say application काम आएगा. That is encouragement. Now how to get that encouragement? Because NCLT is having the canon against what actions you have taken. Now you approach police says it's a civil matter.
सर दोनों मैटर में आप सुधार सकते हो, आपके पास फंड होना चाहिए, और
now because it's a civil matter, you go to civil court and then you start.
Sir, RP is not a super human. Yeah, and if जूना अगर creditor जूने promoter भी अगर उसको निकाल नहीं सकता है. In my cases in Aristo, slum started happening after CRP started. पहला 15 slum था एग्जाम्पल, दूसरे 2-4 और ऐड हो गए. अब मैं COC को बोल रहा हूँ भाई मेरे को पुलिस प्रोटेक्शन या सबके लिए कुछ दो, लिटिगेशन के लिए कुछ दो. COC बोलता है होने दो ना, क्या करने का, तो मैं क्या करूँ? So you cannot dispossess anybody without a legal process, right? You cannot dispossess. So what you are going to do? You will have to take legal action only. आप पेपर पे एक्शन लिया है वो दिखाओ, पुलिस को भी लेटर लिखो, किसको भी लिखो, पर लिखो और नोट करो बस, और कुछ मत करो.
You have to intimate to COC.
Yes, right. This is I am agreement with you.
चलो सर,
मैं यही बोलता हूँ, लिखो.
So key impact of the amendment, faster relief.
एक बार और सेशन रखेंगे.
चलो ठीक है, टर्निंग अराउंड ये मेरे जो
एक मिनट जयेश भाई फोटो ले लो.
Yes.
Smile. अलग अलग एंगल से लेना.
जो भी एंगल से ले सब में आना चाहिए।
हमारा अच्छा नहीं है
आप नहीं दिखोगे ना फिर।
तो कोई दूसरा हुआ एंगल
लिखो कुछ आप लिखते लिखो।
So my various cases are there, which is there already, whatever is there in IBBI website also. Landmark judicial judgment, ये तो अभी बहुत जूने हो गए सब, बहुत सारे financial creditor and all that stuff, and this reverse merger and all that, that all also is developing. I think whatever is going to happen in reverse merge wala matter maybe, and insolvency. Yeah, only one thing I will add, that why I said 20 cases, my 11 cases were consolidated and one resolution has been reserved for order is expected any time. That is Darshan Development. So that is going to be reserved for order, and order will come, and that 11 company consolidation through IBC route has happened. I think it will be like a video conference where all the 11 cases have been clubbed together. Thank you.
आपने मेरा मेंशन किया तो मैं एक केस आपको बताना हूँ, 1 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं लूंगा। So I was representing the suspended director in one real estate matter. Resolution plan put up हो गया था. Resolution plan was kept at 2:30 to be heard by the bench. बेंच ने 1.5 घंटा रेजोल्यूशन प्लान सुन लिया. बाद में हमने बोला कि भैया मेरा आईए था वहाँ पे विद ऑब्जेक्शंस. सो बेंच अभी तुम्हारा क्या सुनने का, रेजोल्यूशन प्लान हमने बढ़िया से सुन लिया. बोले आपने 1 घंटा, ऑनेस्टली एंड नो एग्जैजरेशन, आपने 1 घंटा रेजोल्यूशन प्लान सुना, आप मेरा 5 मिनट मेरा आईए नहीं सुनेगा, 5 मिनट छटवा नहीं दूंगा. बोला ठीक है. बेंच ने बोला हम खाली 2 पेज रीड कर, 2 पेज रीड करेंगे. हमने आर्गुमेंट कुछ नहीं किया, मेरा आईए का 2 पेज रीड, राइट, 2 पेज रीड हुआ. बेंच बोलता है आरपी अगर अटेंड हो रहा है तो आप अपना वीडियो चालू करो. आरपी ने अपना वीडियो चालू किया. आरपी को खाली इतना ही पूछा, ये जो बोला है 2 पेज रीड किया, ये सही है क्या? आरपी ने बोला सही है. बेंच ने बोला दी सीओसी टू रिकंसीडर, वापस भेज दिया प्लान सीओसी के पास. एंड यू नो व्हाट हैपेंड नेक्स्ट वीक? The resolution applicant, the SRA, he withdrew from the resolution plan. I had proved beyond.
You were representing?
I was suspended director. I was representing the suspended director. So I had in my 2 pages, I have proved beyond doubt that the SRA was a delinquent party, and you wait for 3 months, उसके खुद के ऊपर IBC होते हैं. ऐसे प्रोमोटर ऐसे एसआरए को सीओसी दे रही है. आरपी रेप्यूटेड आईपीई, फिर भी काम हो रहा है. रियल एस्टेट में ये काम होता है.
ऐसा भी होता है. एसआरए का बैकग्राउंड जब आप लेते हो तब तो सही
टर्मिनेट करेंगे आज.
चलो can we
have one more round of, चलो loud applause to Jayesh bhai and Rathi ji both. We will have one more round for Jayesh bhai.
We can have
multiple rounds.
I think Manish has also many cases, Hemant bhai has also many cases. Each cases are unique, so let us work on it. मैं थोड़ा ज्यादा बोलता हूँ, पर ये लोग ने बहुत ज्यादा काम किया हुआ है.
चलो we conclude.
अभी आगे का जो है ना अपना वो एजेंडा अभी आज ही डिस्कस कर लेते 5 मिनट
मंथली बाई-मंथली ना, इट इज बाई-मंथली.
नहीं 1
मंथली ना,
मिनिमम 6 मीटिंग है. पर
मिनिमम 6 है, वही बोला. मंथ में अपन जैसे ये अपना जैसे सैटरडे ये फिक्स कर लेते हैं कि कैसे
उसका सेकंड या थर्ड
सैटरडे किसी कंपाउंड एबिलिटी करेंगे. उसका अगर रिपोर्ट सिक्योर बनी
मंथ में एक बार करें कि कैसे और कब करना चाहिए
वो सेम
फर्स्ट में सब टीडीएस बनो.
कभी क्या नेशनल लेवल पे सेमी पार्टिसिपेशन होना चाहिए मेन
चार्ज आपका.
टाइमिंग ये जो है
अगर सस्ता में नहीं है तो सिक्योर.
वो चल रही है बात, ऑलरेडी लेटर भी सर ने दिया है, वो खाली नहीं और वो फॉरवर्ड भी कर दिया है.
It will be overbooked if there
हॉल बड़ा लगेगा.
वो मिले नहीं मिले, अपने जो आज वाले आए ना, ये अगली मीटिंग में भी आवे, ये एश्योरेंस की है.
मैडम आपकी क्वेरी थी आपको जो नॉलेज मिलेगा इज मच मोर देन IBPI क्रेडिट
सीपीए और छोड़ दो मिला तो अच्छा नहीं बहुत जरूरी
मैडम नॉलेज इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट
विमल भाई, इसमें से 50% स्टेगनेंट रहेंगे, 50% यही चेहरे रहेंगे, 50%
चलो, थैंक यू।
Yes.
Vote of thanks to both of the speakers. They have done exceedingly well.
Thank you, sir. हाँ नहीं कोई वांधा नहीं सर. Better.
Thanks a lot, sir. मैं बोला 5:15 5:30 बजे तक अपना मीटिंग हो जाता था 5:15 बजे ही हो जाता.
कितना इंटरेस्टिंग लोग उठते रहे, कितना अच्छा सेशन.
अच्छा हुआ. मजा आया.